How are y'all today? Happy Sunday. Took my glasses off, Jesus, while I was trying to get stuff together. Let me put them back on. How are you all? Happy Sunday. I hope you all had a great day. I hope you enjoyed some church if you've been going out to church, or some online church, or I hope you did whatever you could do for your Sunday enjoyment. Some self-care Sunday. If it's a sunny day where you are, I hope you got out and enjoyed the sun. Hello, Kamiko Buford. Hey, Plez, bows and beauties. Yes, hello, fam, my beauties and my bows. I'm so happy to see you all this Sunday. Vanessa Akins, hey. Good afternoon. Hey, y'all. Kim Bird. Hey, Plez. Happy Sunday. Happy Sunday to you. AVL. Hey, Plez. Hey, girl. Who else we have? Boogie Down Gal. Happy Sunday, everyone. Claudia Ferguson. Hey. Just Simply. Hey, Pleasant, everyone. Happy Sunday. Mina Ruth. Hey, Plez. Hey, girl. David Clay says, hey. I see you all rolling in. Crazy Battle says, chill late night with my husband by the water and grills. Girl, that sounds like a wonderful time. I love when someone else grills. And I love being by the water. So, hey y'all, happy Sunday. Like I said, this is my first episode of The Grab Bag. And like I told you all yesterday, if you saw my video yesterday where I discussed love and, I'm finna call it Love and Marriage Huntsville. Married at First Sight. That's what I'll be doing on Saturdays. And on Sundays, you'll get the grab bag. This will be my version of like a hot topics, trending topics, but also it might not always be trending topics. Sometimes it'll just be reality shows or scripted shows that I am currently watching and loving. I can't possibly review every show there is to review. There aren't enough hours in the day. Shout out to all of those content creators who do and can. So for that reason, y'all, there are so many content creators on YouTube that I didn't even know about until I started actually kind of being on YouTube myself. When I was just a watcher, like I told you all before, I just kind of search topics that I want to find on YouTube, and that's what I watch. The only people I've ever followed consistently have been Funky Dineva and DJ Richie Sky. So I still recommend them both for very good reality show reviews. What I'm going to be doing today is pretty much just my thoughts on some of the shows that you saw in the thumbnail, what I'm thinking, what my opinion is of the characters that we've currently seen, their personalities, their storylines. It won't be a rundown of the episode, especially not this show, because I'm hopping in the middle where some of these shows have been on for a few episodes already. So I can't possibly go through each episode and what I thought. But I'll give you my overall view. And then next week, I can start kind of going, okay, my new opinion based on last episode, right? But if you want to see content creators who do give you the full rundown of the actual episodes and their great commentary and opinions, I'll give you a list of people that I like in Beauties and Bows. You all can throw some names in the comments that you like as well. This is in no individual order. And this is my opinion. I don't get into the politics of who likes who and who likes what. Like, y'all, that's not me. I like everybody for different reasons. Some of them I feel are very just funny. I get a good kiki. Some of them are very, I think, intellectual based, have a really good presentation. And some are just good folks. Like, they're really funny and everybody has something to offer. That's what I'm telling y'all. Like, if you have a voice and you think you want to do something, get out there and do it. Just try it. Go for it. There is a recipe, a shoe that fits everybody. What one person won't like, another person may love, right? So some of the people that you may want to watch if you want actual more reality reviews and things like that, or celebrity gossip, because I don't, like I told you yesterday, I don't get it. I don't follow these people on social media. So I'm not really going to be getting into what's going on beyond the show. I don't really follow it like that. I like the show, and that's it. So some of the people to check out, like I said before, I watch Funky Dineva and Richie Sky. My girl Princess has started her panels that she's reviewing a couple of these shows on. So Debonair and Busy Blue do really good reviews. They're funny to me. Ashley Miller, I love her. All of the ladies on the Ladies First panel, Bondi Blue, Jay Lee, Jamie, Niecy, they do their own individual reviews, and they have their panel, which I think is super dope. You also have Miss Misha. I love Miss Misha. She watches a lot of the shows that I watch too, like Married at First Sight. That's how I found her. Through the Married at First Sight stuff that I was looking at. Alexander Rogers, I think he's really funny. Rodney the Voice, Scotty by Nature, Candy Washington is a new person that I like a lot, and Sinitra. Sinitra can read to the gods, honey. I don't do that. I can't. I'm more of like, just give you my flat out opinion. If it happens to be a read, it's a read. But Sinitra can get down with the best. So those are people that I like. Like I said, y'all can put more that if I miss somebody that, or I don't know everybody that there is to know on YouTube. And I know that's crazy. People are like, you don't know this person? They have 500,000 subscribers. Well, if I never ran across them or they never came up in my subscriptions, I'm not subscriptions, my recommendations. And even sometimes if they come up in my recommendations, I only really watch so much of that content. And then I watch other things that are on my subscription lists. So those are people that I really like. And you all can fill in the rest. Now, as I've been doing the last couple of days, just to get the ground rules for everybody in the chat, we only have 2 rules here at Scared of Beautiful. One is that we are always gracious to each other, even in our disagreements. So I don't mind disagreeing comments. I don't mind a good debate, but what we will not do is be disrespectful. So no derogatory or disparaging comments allowed, no verbal abuse. My moderators have been advised to delete comments, time people out, block them as necessary, because we are adults. We are here for discourse. We can engage and have fun without all the extra. And even if it is like a hot topic, we can still debate healthily without the back and forth. Also in that vein, no comments regarding any past situations. The past is the past. We're no longer entertaining any of that. We're moving forward. So if you come in, if you call in, let's stick to the topic at hand, which is all the stuff that we're about to get into. The second rule, speaking of call-ins, is no face, no place on my platform. So that means if you choose to call in, you have to show your face. Just like I am. If I show my face and I'm up here putting myself out there, you can too. So we're gonna stick to the rules and we're gonna get into it. Fee Washington, hey sis, thank you so much for the super sticker. I greatly appreciate it. First, and y'all, so I have some pictures of some of the things that we're going to talk about, not all of them, because you only have so much space to upload things. So some of the more established shows like Love and Marriage Huntsville and Real Housewives of Potomac, I won't be showing y'all pictures of those ladies. I'll just call their name. You all don't, have to Y'all, I mean, you should know. If not, you can Google. You should know what these people look like at this point, because these shows have been on. Real Housewives of Potomac, I think, is on season 6. And Love and Marriage Huntsville has had the same main 3 couples for like the last 3 seasons. Evangelist and writer Valerie Robertson Smith, thank you for the super sticker, sis. Yes, so Love and Marriage Huntsville. Let's start there. Y'all know I love this show. I have been an avid watcher since the beginning, since it premiered on OWN. I love reality TV that I can relate to as an African-American woman. And Love and Marriage Huntsville especially came in as like these 3 power couples that were running the town and were entrepreneurs, and they were engaging, and it was the comeback group. As someone who is from a small town, I really fell in love with the concept, the initial concept at least. I wanted to see these 6 Black people kicking butt and taking names, owning businesses, owning land, doing development. I've done a lot of work in housing law, so to see that area being not taken over, but at least us setting our space in the development community. Land and ownership is how wealth is built. So, unfortunately, the show is kind of, they show a little of that, but I guess, for reality TV purposes, you got to get into the drama. And of course, we have gotten into the drama on that show. It's a lot going on. So I'll just go through the couples and what I feel about them at this point with everything that's gone on in the season. First, of course, we have Marceau and Tisha. Nothing much has really changed between Marceau and Tisha. Marceau is being the alpha male butthole that he is. And I'm saying that nicely. And Tisha is being the crybaby that she is. I've never seen someone so whiny and insecure at almost 40 and having to have her own family and raise kids. Like, it's really sad to see. Like, you gotta be able to stay on your own. Look, we all have our moments. I have mine. What bothers me is I've seen no progression from Tisha other than her getting more degrees, which I applaud. I applaud education. I applaud bettering yourself. But bettering yourself is not just book sense. Book sense is wonderful. I have it. I am an advocate for it. But common sense and emotional intelligence and maturity is just as important. And I fear that Letitia's book sense her book sense will not be able to uphold her in the business world if she doesn't get some better people skills, right? They gotta get some better people skills. Like, she has to. There will be times in business, she has to learn how to separate business from personal. And so far, it doesn't seem like she knows how to do that. She hides behind Marceau to do that. And then she expects him to want her to view her as an equal. No. You have to show him. I mean, he should view you as an equal. That's part of his issue, just period. But you also have to show him that you can hold your own as an equal. And when you have these constant emotional outbursts that he has to manage and he has to go back and apologize for and correct, it gets old. We've seen these. I hope y'all have seen the last few episodes, the stuff with her and Kimmy. How long are you going to hold on to that? And since her family came on the show when her mom was out of town, we've already seen her mother. So we know that that's the root of the problem. But when you saw her cousin and her brother and all of these people uphold her, try to rally for her. Y'all, you can call it what you want. You can say I'm not ride or die. I believe in holding people accountable. I want my friends and my family to hold me accountable. And they do that. They may not do it in public, but behind closed doors, they are going to pull my coattail and be like, Plez, you out of pocket. You wrong. Get it together. Thank you, Sharp Sounds, for the super chat. Will you consider starting your own panel in the future? Maybe in the far future, not anytime soon. I may do some panel shows from here and there. Not really about reality TV, probably about other topics that I have on my list that I want to talk about, some legal things, some things that I think really affect our community and how we need to work together to change those things. And mostly those will be from people that I kind of already know. I'm always willing to give anybody a voice. If you want to come on here and call in, absolutely. But I'm taking a break right now from engaging with a lot of people that I don't know yet. So I'm not counting it out, but not right now. Y'all, just in case I miss a super chat or anything, again, like I said, I always say, please charge it to my head and not my heart. I want to keep talking about these shows because I want us to get done in a timely manner and have people to call in. So if I miss you, I'm so sorry. I'm trying to keep reign of the chat as I'm talking. And I also want to give you all time to engage and give your opinions. So, Jesse says, I would love to see legal topics discussed. Absolutely. Andrea LaLoca says that's smart. Lovely True Red says a legal panel would be awesome. Yeah, I'm thinking about doing different things. You know, there are tons of different legal opportunities and people, different perspectives, different topics. And the legal field is so wide. You need people who do different parts, who practice different areas of the law. You know, I know what I know, but I'm, a subject matter expert in certain things, and I have good friends who are subject matter experts in other things. So that's something that I'm thinking about. But anyway, I'm sorry. Let's get back to Love and Marriage Huntsville. So yeah, Tisha. Oh Lord, it was so draining for me when she was talking to Kimmy and she was just like, you didn't take up for me. And like, she literally started crying again. It's like, girl, that woman has apologized and apologized and apologized. But to Tisha, if you aren't on her side, right, wrong, ride or die, you're not her friend. You don't love her. And that's not true. Wrong, right is right, wrong is wrong. And that is why I will forever be a Kimmy stan. I don't care who says different. I love a woman and a person, period, who is a straight shooter. What you see is what you get. She's going to call it like it is. She's going to own her stuff. Girl, if I talked about you behind your back, I talked about you behind your back. She was talking about you too. I just think it's really selfish for people to think that you should lie for them. Just don't bring me in it. That's really the thing. Do what you do. I'm not going to sit here and call you out on it per se. Like, I'm not going to go, I don't like the word snitch, but you know what I'm saying. I'm not going to interject myself in business that doesn't belong to me. But if you send somebody over here to ask me what happened, I'm going to tell them what happened. And that's just how me and my friends roll. Like, my friends and I, we roll. We don't do that to each other. We don't put each other in compromising positions where then our integrity is questioned, right? I just can't. Tisha has to do better. And what saddens me is she's raising little girls. That's what concerns me. Her and her mama are feeding this into new generations of little girls that have to go into this world and learn how to manage. I pray that those girls don't become the mean girls or the bullies at school, because honestly, the way, not Tisha's really quiet, but Wanda, the stuff that she says around those girls, it's not appropriate. Like, let's be clear. It's not. Y'all know it ain't. Helene Easley, thank you so much for the super chat. It's always a pleasure to hear your views and commentations on all topics. Thank you. Checking You Boo says, exactly, that's no friend when you want someone to compromise their integrity. Absolutely. Andrea LaLoca says, exactly, that's a red flag if you put me in a dangerous situation. Deborah Turner says, that's it exactly. Don't put me in a position where you weren't genuine. Yes. Marceau is Marceau. He's still the class clown. Now, this episode last night, y'all, I had to side-eye Marceau again. He couldn't make it to Houston on time because he needed to stay back for work. But then when Tisha called him, he laying in the bed halfway asleep. I'm not saying he's cheating. I'm saying a lot of business always comes up at very convenient times. That's the way I'm gonna say that. He also really bothered me last night with Jalen, because honestly, Marceau is cheap, and he is doing Jalen a grave disservice by throwing him into an industry fresh out of college with no training. Has Jalen even been a waiter before? Like, what experience did he have in the restaurant industry? Everything that we saw him doing on the show prior to graduating was stuff in construction, stuff in real estate. I will agree that management skills, leadership skills are kind of par for the course, but I would also argue, no shade to Jalen or Kimmy as his mother, but from what we saw on the show, he wasn't a leader. He was very quiet, very reserved, very laid back. It's one thing to say you want to keep it in the family and you want to give your people an opportunity, but you also have to give them an opportunity to succeed. And one thing Tisha did see ahead of time, and she told Marceau this, but Marceau is so pig-headed, was that they needed to hire somebody as an assistant manager under Jalen to provide somebody who actually had the restaurant experience to buffer him. He didn't listen to Tisha. Now he's going to have to do it. And I'm not going to lie, I'm too petty. Maybe this is one reason why I'm not married yet. But when Marceau, as my husband comes back to tell me that now he has to hire an assistant manager, I'm hitting him with the "I told you so," or I'm hitting him with the "Oh, that's very interesting." Yeah. AVL, yes, they are doing that young man a disservice. He won't be able to make it out there without the right tools. Absolutely. Deborah Turner, and I applaud Jalen for saying that he needs some help. Absolutely, y'all. Glenda Dodson says, I love how Jalen checked Marceau so professionally and called out Marceau for not giving him the training that was promised. Y'all, I love this young generation. They aren't playing. They are letting you know, I'm not doing all of this by myself. You will not make me your workhorse. I will leave first. You can have this job back, deuces. They don't care. They don't care about titles. They don't care about accolades. Because at the end of the day, he's the one being burned out and stressed out because Tisha and Marceau are trying to act like, oh, you should know that. No one knows unless you teach them. I don't know what his degree is in, but it's not that. So anyway, I was very proud of him, y'all. I agree, for stepping up in that confessional. He gave Marceau the business. gave him the business, let everybody know and put it on record. Y'all, everything that y'all saw last season, all of that stuff that he said on camera, I've received none of it. So if Black goes down, if Black has to shutter their windows, it ain't Jalen's fault. It's the owner's fault. And I liked it. Like, come on. Checking You Boo says marriage is serious. People better get to know folks in their different seasons of successes and failures to avoid nightmares and toxicity. I completely agree. Evangelist says exactly. Now he may not succeed, so Jalen will fail. Absolutely. Ronnie F says maybe Destiny can help train Jalen in management. Girl, we gonna get to that. Checking You Boo says, say, girl, I'm not going to be your workhorse. Salute to the young people. It is not Jalen's fault. I be the shit says, I'll give it to Gen Z. They set boundaries and stay on the ops next. I love it. Yes, they do. They do. Amy J says, I think because Marceau got it out the mud, he feels Jalen could figure it out, but he still needs some type of help. I don't really know if Marceau got it out the mud. I think Marceau had, y'all, especially our older generation, that civil rights group and stuff, those are probably along the lines of the mentors that Marceau had. Nobody got where they are just by themselves. Y'all can believe people when they say that, but they're lying. They had a teacher, a professor, a mentor, another entrepreneur that they reached out to. He didn't just learn that by himself, especially when he grew up. The internet wasn't out there. There was somebody in college in Huntsville, some older Black man that he looked up to, a fellow Omega man, somebody who sowed seeds into him. Now, they may have done it in that like tough love type way, like, I'm going to tell you this much, but you got to figure out the rest. However, I really hate when we use those types of reasonings to explain why we should make it harder for the next generation. As you climb, you reach and you pull back. So just because I had to struggle doesn't mean I'm going to make sure you struggle too. There's a lot of things that people get into trouble with that. And it's so sad that, I'm not going to just give it to you, but I'm also not going to make it hard unnecessarily. And to me, they were making Jalen's position hard unnecessarily. He needed an assistant. Any restaurant needs a general manager and assistant manager. If the boy gets sick, who's going to run the place? Right? Anyway. Miss Bernice. Hey, Miss Bernice. Marceau needs to quit. He threw Jalen in the deep water and said, don't drown. Period. Absolutely. Auntie Eva says Marceau is cheap and lazy about some things. He absolutely is. Bright Eyes 78 says we have to get out of that mindset. I struggle so that my kids don't have to. Absolutely. And there's a balance, right? You also shouldn't just give your kids everything, because then they don't recognize and appreciate what hard work is. But okay, y'all, let me get off of them because we got to get through all this other stuff. But that's my basic synopsis of those two. Martell and Melody, same thing. Martell still, I do feel bad for him on some levels, simply because you can tell that he didn't foresee this consequence. He really thought Melody was going to be one of those old school, and I'm not saying all women in Alabama like this, so please don't take offense. Old school Betty Wright type of women, a piece of man is better than no man. Girl, men cheat, long as he bring it home, long as he take care of home. They got them all over the world. It's not just Alabama. I'm from Mississippi. They got them in Mississippi too. All of these older women that tell you, let a man be a man, all of that kind of stuff. He thought, that's why he kept saying, you didn't talk to any of the older women? And women, if you are out there passing down this pathology to young women, stop. If you are in a church telling young women to stay in a marriage where they are being abused physically, emotionally, mentally, stop. God don't want you to stay in that crap. He does not. The Bible does allow for divorce. Quit telling people that. Like, stop it. You ain't going to sit out here and make me look like a fool forever, especially when I've given you years at this point to make it right. We've done counseling. We've done this. You like what you like. As he said, he liked his oranges. Now they done turned into them tart tangerines. So he's over there crying in his own bed that he made. Let him do it. However, he is a good father in the sense of he wants to be active and engaged in his children's lives. He is so egotistical and narcissistic that he becomes his own enemy. He is bringing himself and his children down just to spite their mother. And that toxicity is what turns him into more so not a good father. Because at the end of the day, you gotta chalk this up, move on, and co-parent and do what's right for your children. And don't be so triggered every time something happens. Like, again, Marceau said that Tisha and Martell are very much like they are. They have no emotional maturity. They have no mental fortitude. Any little thing can knock them off of their square, and that is not impressive. He wonders why people in the business community don't want to do business with him because they see his actions. Other men are going to stop messing with him because they see his actions. How he consistently throws Chris under the bus. How he threw Marceau under the bus. You ain't going to have you already lost your wife, Martell. You won't have any friends left in a minute. Get it together. Last night's episode with him and Melody's mom, y'all know, initially I was like, Melody's mama needs to go sit down. I'm a big fan of mamas staying out of fully grown adults' business. That girl ain't 20 no more. She sat there and allowed her husband to cheat on her for 5 years. So, back, zip your lip, talk to your daughter, but you don't have no talk for him. However, when they went for the meetup or the sit down or whatever, I remembered that Martell drug her into it by posting on social media that she allegedly was not allowing him to see his kids or answering the phone while she had his kids. So, in that instance, she should defend herself. She should have a talk with them. When families and marriages and breakup and divorces happen, it does impact everybody. You know, it's a compounding effect. It's not just you and your wife or the children. It's all of the extended families as well. So I was glad that they had a talk. I was glad that they were able to come to some type of a resolve. Per usual, Martell got in his feelings and started sharing things that didn't need to be shared. And I'm glad Melody's mom stopped him. I don't need to know the inner workings of your marriage, of your bedroom. TMI. I'm talking about what you do on social media to me and my daughter and the children. And that's what that was. Thank you, The World of Daphne, for the super sticker. Miss Bernice says she was replying to checking you, boo. Melody said she did what he wanted her to do. During the marriage. He wasn't satisfied and chose to cheat on his wife. He had 80% and cheated with 20. Come on now. Absolutely he did. Absolutely he did. Helene Easley says you are right about mamas staying out the business. Yes, ma'am. Melody, I'm glad to see that she's moving forward. Her her wigs are very interesting to me. As in, I don't really I like the little red one, but other than that, I think Melody is such a naturally pretty girl. Sometimes her hair choices do a disservice to her. I don't get that. But that's her style. So it is what it is. It's not for me. Other than that, though, I'm glad to see her progressing. I'm glad to see her trying to make some amends in her relationships. She's trying again with Tisha. And thank God for this show, because I wouldn't be trying with her at all, girl. So you're better than me. Next, Maurice and Kimmy. Oh, wait. Martell and this 47 acres thing, right? Again, a reason why he is going to burn business bridges. The way development works, yes, you may own the land, but the land ain't nothing if you ain't built something on it. So you own the land. Mr. Chris helped you sell and broker the land. Now the people who want to build on the land have probably looked at your image, but also you don't have the license. You don't have the builder's license. Some of that energy that you're spending could be used to go get you a tutor to help you pass that licensing exam. Because Melody passed it. So if you were nice, maybe she would give you a piece of whatever if she chooses to build. Now, I'm not going to lie. If I were Melody, and people will always argue me down with it, you're not a business-minded person. Look, sometimes for me, money is not worth the extra rah-rah that comes with it. That's just me. So I probably wouldn't build on it if I were Melody. I just wouldn't. Get you another development deal. I'm sure they're building subdivisions around Huntsville or somewhere else in Alabama. I wouldn't touch it. But Martell was completely wrong for the way that he went at Chris's neck about that. And then the way he went to Melody, because Melody was the one who redirected Chris back to Martell. I also didn't like how he acted at the appointment with the lady who was talking about their co-parenting. You can tell Melody still at the end of the day cares for him. She's a kind person. She has compassion. And he was clearly going through it, and she was trying to offer him some comfort. Again, better than me, because I wouldn't. And he still just showed how childish he is. He can never be the bigger person or just take something for what it is. Anyway, Maurice and Kimmy, same old. We really haven't seen Maurice a lot. I see in the next episode, they're going to be arguing over his work-life balance per usual. The issue with Kiowa and Monster when they had that phone call, I don't know why he hasn't learned his lesson now. There's no reason that Kimmy should have to interject and say, hey, I'm here. No, man, when you open the conversation, say, hey, Kiowa, it's me and Kimmy here with Monster. We want to talk to you about which high school he chose, blah, blah, blah. Quit disrespecting your wife, Maurice. Kimmy, like I said before, she's a straight shooter. I absolutely love how straightforward she is. I love how her stance and how she holds me. She says what she says. She means what she says, more importantly. She's not interested in moving to Scott Manor, thankfully. And she handled last night with such grace with this new girl. She's worked on her relationship with Destiny. Kimmy is doing it, right? So Sandra Robinson says, Monster with the vape. Yes, we're about to get into it. See Yahoo's. Just an opinion. I don't watch all these shows. I guess compound reviews are going to be standard, but I get it. Mel started out like Nene with the loud blonde, which may turn into a more brownish blonde look. All right. Miss Bernice says, loves Kimmy. She's a grown woman that Tisha needs to be. Nurse Angel says, Kimmy is married to a man that another woman controls. Ha! Whew. How dreadful, honey. How dreadful. So anyway, y'all, let's get into this new couple. Tiffany and Louis. Right? Tiffany and Louis are new to the scene. They come in with a bang. Tiffany more so than Louis. And when I say a bang, I mean like not a good bang, like a bang. Tiffany came in like LaToya Ali came in on Real Housewives of Atlanta. And to this, I have to tell Tiffany, wrong road, sis. Wrong road. We, as in Black women, do not like, well, let me stop. I know I can't speak for all Black women. This Black woman doesn't like when new people come in loud and wrong. Loud and wrong. Doing too much. Spreading business that is none of your business. That lady came in to Destiny's brunch. I just pray she has no skeletons in her closet. Because once she came in talking about a child, Monster, am I correct? Monster was vaping in the bathroom. Monster was vaping. It's almost like she took offense to Kimmy when she said her boys, because if you didn't see or if you watch the show, Monster and Tiffany and Louis's two sons go to the same school and apparently play sports. And Tiffany was saying one of her sons quit. He only wanted to do one sport. And Kimmy was like, oh no, Monster's going to be there as long as they're yelling, Monster, Monster. And so then Tiffany's like, yeah, was it Monster's vaping? Monster, wasn't he vaping in the bathroom? And Kimmy just looked at her and said, I think that's a Maurice question, not for me. Yeah, you're asking, although Kimmy is his stepmother, that's not her biological child. That's a very sensitive subject. Furthermore, Kimmy says in her confessional that she had never heard anything about this, so she's going to ask Maurice about this. Not a good look. Maurice, quit hiding stuff from your wife, especially when you got messy people around here doing it. Now, y'all, again, I'm from the South. My first job when I was 12 years old was in the cafeteria. Nothing but some old, messy lunch ladies. I can't stand old, messy people, especially messy people that sit around and talk about children. But it happens way too much. There is no reason. Now, maybe behind the doors, you and your friends, which I still don't like that either. But yeah, let's be real. Stuff happens at these schools and adults gossip about it. But to bring that gossip to somebody's birthday brunch that you just met, H-E double hockey sticks, no. No, ma'am, Pam. You are not finna sit here and tell me about my child and bring up that my child was allegedly vaping at the table. How was that relevant? How was that important? Please let me know. Then Tiffany went on to recount that she met Destiny at Melody's event before at her house and was like, oh, I remember because your ex got an award. And I remember that I saw you and you were like, oh no, that wasn't me. So you basically let the table know that when her ex-husband got an award, he brought another woman to the award ceremony. And Destiny didn't even know. Why was that relevant at her brunch? Then when she excused herself from the table to stop herself from cussing you out, which she should have done, You tell the confessional, oh, that's just too dramatic, but it's her birthday. I'm going to let her cry if she wants to. Girl, we don't know you. We don't know you. Nor do we want to. At this point, you starting off completely wrong. You're going to be right out where LaToya Ali is. Destiny is fairly new too, but girl, you can't be coming at Kimmy and Destiny. No, ma'am. We don't know you and we don't like you. Now, we only got to see Lewis for a little bit. He looks great in this picture compared to how he looked on that TV show. He wasn't my cup of tea. That's neither here nor there. Now, I'll show y'all this picture that I got from their wedding, because when Kimmy talked about their wedding, and how she planned a surprise wedding for him, I was like, oh my God. Like, I thought the lady had proposed to the man and everything. But the way the story went, they actually got engaged in late 2018. He proposed to her on her birthday in 2018. And with the pandemic and everything going on, Tiffany allegedly just decided she wanted to surprise him on his 40th birthday with a surprise wedding. Now, it's cute, but the surprise wedding thing for me, the height of it was, the Duncans, Sherelle and Alfred Duncan, if y'all remember that a few years ago, where he planned a completely surprise engagement and wedding ceremony for her. He had everything planned out. Her hair, her dress, her friends to get her ready. Tiffany, if you're going to do it, do it. Now, you up here in this gorgeous gown, and this man got on Dockers and a button down. Why is that? I wouldn't want my husband sitting next to me, surprised or not, looking like that, and we got to take pictures for the rest of the day looking like that. Like, he should have been getting ready. You got to think out the surprise. Think out the surprise. So that's what happened. She didn't get down on one knee and propose and all of that stuff to him. They were already engaged, and she decided that she wanted to do a surprise wedding. And he said, literally in the article that I read, why not? A beautiful woman in a gown was standing there ready to marry me. And the boys walked her down the aisle. They each brought a child into the marriage. And so they built their own little Brady Bunch, which was cute. But Tiffany, you're doing way too much. And then they say you're on the Chamber of Commerce and all of these different things. Like, girl, other women are going to see you on TV acting like this. I don't know, y'all. But that is it for Tiffany and Lewis. Destiny, she's going through her thing. She got a divorce. That wasn't a shocker to me. If y'all watched the show early on, when her and her ex-husband LeBerc used to when they were actually at the show, the whole he makes chicken type thing when they were at Melody's house, she said that they had been together for 8 or 9 years and had not gotten married because of different issues with infidelity and things like that. Y'all, ladies and men, stop being in these long-term relationships and you have the same issues over and over and they never resolve, and then get married. Marriage is not going to fix it. Unfortunately. You got married, you had a baby, just to undo that a year later. Abita Shit said, how does a surprise wedding work? Looks and sounds desperate. The pic says it all. All of them men, Nurse Angel says, all of them men in Huntsville are seemingly cheating. Sad. Ronnie F. I thought Tiffany's son for Lewis. The way she explained it was weird. It could be. Miss Bernice Wani Willis, says she's laughing at you. Check you, boo. I need more context regarding that surprise wedding, which can be borderline possessive and controlling of the man. This reminded me of Gary and Andy on Sisters BET Creepy. Well, which one? Because in Tiffany planned her own surprise wedding. She surprised the husband. If you're talking about that other couple that I talked about, Alfred and Cheryl Duncan, it may not work for everybody, but it worked for them. They had been celibate for a long time. They had been working with their pastor and on their way to marriage. And she was there for it. She enjoyed it. She was overjoyed that she had her man and they could get back to doing the dude because they were, in right standing with God. I thought it was a really good love story. Sophie Chancellor says, Destiny, I was sad that they divorced so quickly. Yes, they were together for a while. I did not remember the infidelity. Maybe I missed that. Yeah, go back and look at some of the early, I guess in season 2, whatever season, when they first premiered, they talked about, somebody asked them like, y'all been dating this long and engaged this long? Why aren't you married? Next, Real Housewives of Potomac. I'm gonna run through this really quickly, y'all. Giselle, you know how I feel about Giselle. If you don't know, I will tell you. She should have never been anybody's first lady. She still shouldn't. She's bitter. She's angry. She's vindictive. I see no redeeming qualities about her. She has a pretty face. That house tour, if y'all have never seen the original house tour, please find it online. It is hilarious. The new portion, the West Wing, looks horrible, especially on the outside. The inside for me is too much Versace. She's tacky. She just is. She's tacky in her fashions. She's tacky in her decor. She's tacky in her personality. Coming against Karen, waging war against Karen, simply because Monique is not there. She doesn't have anybody else to pick on. Yeah, I'm not here for Giselle. Never have been. Maybe early on. But kind of like Karen said, once you really see her, it's like, oh girl, no. I really wished, I don't know why. I don't know what the talent looks like in that town, but they need to let Robin go or let Giselle go. But I don't think they're going to let Giselle go because they brand the show around her at this point. But her and Robin need to be split up. I need to see one of them stand on their own 2 feet. So hopefully Robin will be gone next season. Karen, I like Karen. Always have. To me, she comes across as a straight shooter. Her reads this season are coming off a little rehearsed to me for some reason. Or she just isn't as being as quick-witted as she normally is. Because the Sing thing, and again, it could just be because I'm a nerd. I know what Sing is. And so I'm like, Giselle was in prison? When she said that, I was like, Karen, that doesn't make sense. But it was funny. I will also tell y'all, I don't know if it's just me getting older and more mature. I don't like this type of fighting that they're doing. I think a lot of the fighting is going below the belt. On both sides. I just think some things as women we shouldn't talk about. Mainly other women's private parts. See how that? Because we all have one. Right? And they all go through things sometimes. So I will keep that cute. There are tons of other things to read Giselle about than that. Her children read her every time they're on camera. I love those girls. She did a good job with that. That is her redeeming quality. That is her redeeming quality. Those 3 beautiful girls. Right? Symphony Love says Robin's got to go. Karen's favorability has shot up. Absolutely. I believe in previous seasons, Bravo believed Giselle was the face of the brand and now quickly realized it's Karen because Karen is fun and relatable and actually transparent. Ms. Drea says Karen was trying to reference the psych hospital, but I think she tried to downplay it to avoid the backlash. I agree. Amy J says this is going to sound crazy, but I like Giselle and Robin together. I don't feel bad for Monique. She started with Giselle by going after the tea with Sherman. Robin has no real storyline. Let me see. Sharon Mitchell says Robin has no real storyline. There was a story years ago about Giselle having a nervous breakdown and amid Jamal's cheating. Absolutely. But that wouldn't be Sing Sing. Jessie, she should be teaching her daughter about being stable with one man. Who? Giselle. She can't be you. In order to teach something, you have to be stable with one man. She is not. And don't just be stable with one man, be stable with a quality man. Y'all, stop. Don't teach little girls that they should just pick one man and go. No, especially not one man like Jamal and all of his alleged outside babies, side women, the collection plates that he's got his hands in. Not Jamal. Find somebody else. Even her children see that. Zers are interesting, enjoying the insight by Plez and everyone. Thank you. June's Place says, Dre, you're correct about the Sing Sing reference. Lisa Coffee says, Giselle has got to get a man. Yes. So, Karen, like I said, love her. I liked her little love party. That was really nice, really cute. The way that they played the kind of newlywed game type reference. That was really fun. Like I said, I like Karen because she is more transparent. She shows different parts of her life. Giselle wants to drop everybody else's tea and spill gossip on everybody else, but doesn't want to show anything of substance in her own life. Very fake, very rehearsed, and very tacky. Ashley, I love Ashley. I'm happy for her and her new son. Ashley always is very interesting to me. And y'all, all of these shows in general are becoming very overproduced for me in my liking. I don't like it. Ashley going back and repeating everything that's been said. Again, y'all, I know it's reality TV. I know we have to have drama, but I want to see, I guess, more realistic things. And in my real life, I don't have friend groups that operate like this. And I don't want them. I'm glad I don't have them. And when they go and share the information, they don't even make it like natural. It's like literally, I'm going to sit down and have lunch or tea or dinner with this person and only to specifically say what somebody else said. You know, the whole bone collector thing is played out for me. I'm over it. I don't like grown women acting like that. I don't like to see them acting like that. Ashley, I'm glad that she's getting a nanny. I hope that helped with her postpartum depression this time. Seeing her talk to her mom is always interesting to me. I like to see when people have an open relationship with their parent, but to sit all the stuff that she said about her sex life with Michael, I'm like, why are you telling your mama all of that? Oh, I haven't been wanting to have sex since I was pregnant, but I have more than one hole. Girl, that's your mama. Checky Boo says, Ashley is convoluted. I like her as a sweet person, but not understand her attachment to her husband. Also, she flip-flops according to if she is on good terms with people. I agree. Someone in Sarissa says, someone in Bravo Production loves Giselle because without the shady, she's not interesting. Yes. DGF says production is killing the franchises, even the 90 Day Fiance series. Girl, I can't even watch 90 Day Fiance anymore. They have too many spinoffs. I just can't. AV Lee L says that convo with her mom was cringy. Yes. Ray all day says me and my mama would never, girl, never. I would fall through the floor before I tell my mama, like, no, oh, no. That was so cringe. Robin, mental health is a real thing. So I'm going to give Robin a little leeway because what's going on in this country, this panorama, has led to a lot of low-grade depression with people. And that's clearly what's happening with Robin. However, the issue is we've seen Robin since before this time in history, and Robin was always a little lazy. Robin always started projects and didn't finish them. And since Juan is home more, he should be helping her more. It shouldn't just be on him to get her to get the kids up every day, especially if he's home from his basket. I think he still has the basketball coaching position, but if not, simply for the years that he was always out of the house. Those boys are becoming young men now. They need their daddy. And sometimes kids respond to a little bit more bass in their voices than the mama saying, oh, y'all get up, it's time for school. However, I do agree with him. Ma'am, you can't set the kids alarms for them to wake up 3 minutes before they have to log in. These are growing boys. They're going to school. Get them a banana, some cereal or something, even if you don't feel like cooking. You are making it hard on your own children. They have to be able to concentrate. They have to be able to focus. They should be up no less than 30 minutes before they have to log in. It's not even like you got to get them dressed anymore. If they don't want to take a shower, whatever. Make them take a shower the night before. Get them up. Get them some breakfast. Get them logged in properly at a desk. Ma'am, that young man should not have been logging in from his bed. It's too easy for him to just lay down and go back to sleep. So I'm with Ron on some things. Also, Robin, trying to expand this business, getting a warehouse. Her mom is helping her. I'm happy for her on that end, but she brings nothing. She can go. Candace, y'all already know I don't like Candace. It has nothing to do with Monique. I didn't like Candace before. If I see another Kleenex, I'm over it. I thought we wasn't going to see the Kleenex this year. Then as soon as she sits down with Karen, here comes this Kleenex. More grown women who can't accept the fact that people are allowed to have different opinions and people are allowed to remain neutral when two friends are fighting. That has been over a year. There is no reason that Candace should still be crying about Karen in that situation. None at all. Miss Dolores did you a disservice because you are spoiled and you think the world should revolve around you. Newsflash, sweetie, it doesn't. I'm glad that Chris is there. I'm glad that he supports you and is your safe space. He is now managing you. He has his children in the home. I haven't seen her be particularly warm around the children. You can tell the little girl is still very standoffish. But little girls are going to be like that, especially about their daddies. So hopefully in a year or two, she will warm up to it. The little boy seems more willing. But yeah, Wani Willis says Candace keeps away from the 80s crying and whining. Raquel Turner Art says Candace just making content for her acting reel. I don't and never did believe any of the tissue scenes. Girl, she doing something. Please tell me what she's doing. Ray Ray all day says Juan doesn't mind entertaining her on TV. That's not good. Embarrassing her on TV. That's not good. It's true. T doesn't. At all. I see somebody. Oh, let's see. Hey, Sodev. Sodev says Juan might notice she's home more because he's home more and Robin has more bass in her face than Juan does. Boy, y'all always talking about Rob Dixon, not Rob. DGL says Candace triggers my narcissist flag. I don't want folk like that in my life, so I definitely don't want to watch them. Girl, Candace is so KC says Candace is just sickening. It's by past time for her to grow up already. Yes. So next we get to Wendy. Wendy has her new body, and she is out here serving the girls, the front and the back. I'm happy for her. If you don't like something and you got the coin and you've done the research and you feel comfortable getting on that table, do you, sis? However, she's really disappointing me with her reads. She's trying too hard. And I don't know why. I actually think I liked her more last season when she was throwing up those 4 degrees than her TikTok. this season. I'm like, girl, what is wrong with you? What has gotten into you? And why are you coming so aggressively at Mia? It's like she's trying to be this mean girl like Giselle and Robin, but it's clearly not her natural personality. And it is over animated. That's not you, sis. You're a nerd like me. All of that trying to be hard and trying to assert your position. Confidence don't do that, boo. Boldness doesn't do that. When you are who you are and you own the room, that speaks for itself. Like you're interjecting and getting yourself in this stuff with Giselle and Karen and now Mia for nothing. It's like you didn't like how the ladies treated you as the new girl, but you're trying to treat Mia the same way. And Mia ain't having it. I love it. Mia is not having it. And the real talk, real tea is, Wendy, you should have been asking Mia for some help on that silhouette challenge video that you sent out, since we now know Mia comes from that background. Because, girl, even the new body didn't help you out with that silhouette challenge. That dancing was the pits. The pits. Her mother is still taking over. I love how her mother sat there at the table and said, I'm gonna get a new boob job and y'all gonna pay for it. Her wanting to start this home decor line. I will never talk bad about anybody having aspirations. And I didn't like when Robin said, oh, well, first you were doing CNN and commentating and being a political commentator, and now you want a home goods line? Y'all, people can walk and chew gum at the same time. We are whole people. I keep telling y'all that. You can have multiple interests. Robin, nothing about you says I should start a hat line. Definitely nothing about you says I need to be selling some clothes too. Nothing about you said I needed to be a realtor and flip some houses. You're clearly bored. So if you can do it, she can do it. Like, come on now, stop it. Mia, I like her personality, what she's bringing to the show. However, all of her scenes to me, y'all, especially the ones with her husband and kids, come off as super rehearsed. Super rehearsed. Super produced. None of that seems or feels organic to me. I like her in her interactions with the ladies, but just that home life stuff, it's like they sit there and say, ready, set, action. Like literally. None of that seems authentic. That's just me. I also want her, I love a transparent girl, but I do think there's a line for transparency. The feminine surgery is a line for me. And now that you put that out there, they're going to keep using that against you, because that's what mean girls do. They're going to basically keep calling you a whore because you gave them that ammunition. So don't do that, please. I want her to own her stuff. You know, I know she's had a very hard life with foster care and everything that she's endured. I don't really believe the 36 thing. That's just me. I almost want to start a birth certificate, challenge for her, because it's like, 36, girl. Okay. But if she talked about all of her surgeries, maybe she is telling the truth about her age. I just, Checking Boo says, yes, all of them are sitting on ready, set, action, which takes away from entertainment and attraction. Absolutely. Darnia Lee says, the sprinkles took me over the top. Yes, that sprinkle scene was so weird. Quasia Battle says, I wonder why Destiny really didn't tell male. Okay, y'all. One thing, since you just said that, one thing that I want to say, because I know I tend to be that friend, we have to learn how to give grace to our friends. Everyone doesn't process information the way you do. Some people think their close friends should run to them and tell them everything. I can say I don't do that. And it's for lots of reasons. Even my close friends. There comes a point in your life where you don't want to feel like you're worrying other people. You don't want to feel like you're bothering other people. Or flat out, you might not just be ready to share yet. She had to get through that on her own. Destiny comes across as a very independent person. I know I am a very independent person. And I get people all the time, oh, you should have called me. Oh, why don't you tell me what's going on? Or, oh, you went through that by yourself. You got to let people do them. And when they're ready to open up, they will. That doesn't mean they don't value you as a friend. That doesn't mean they don't love you or care about you in the same way. They just may not be ready. They also may not be as open as you. When you've had things happen in your life where you trust people and then it comes back on you, you become less trusting. You know, my mother always told me some things stay between you and God. And that's it. And so I think it's kind of selfish, honestly, to me, of Melody to say, I need to talk to her about this. This is the second time she was having a hard day and didn't call me. It's not about you, boo. You know? So, yeah, that's how I feel about that part. Morgan's Musing says facts. Riley O says I don't burden people with my problems. It's is that Gemini or Scorpio thing? Glenda Dotson said I love my friends, but I don't like people in my business. Absolutely. Checking you, boo. Says Destiny said Melody had a lot going on and I understood. Melody kept her problems to herself for a long time. I believe she revealed it because she knew people knew and would expose everything if she didn't. Absolutely. Absolutely. All right, so that's how I feel right now about Real Housewives of Potomac. Next, Family or Fiance. I don't know if y'all watch the show. I watch it. I love it. The premise of the show, it comes on. It comes on right now, right after Love and Marriage Huntsville. And the premise of the show is you have this couple that's engaged and they're trying to get married, ready to get married, but their family is not going for it. They don't see it. They don't want them to get married for different reasons. I'll just talk about last night's episode. Queen Paradise, thank you for the super chat. She says, yes, I know that's right. Correct. Some things stay between you and God. Yes, sis. Miss Drea says, Family or Fiance was a hot mess last night. Yes, ma'am, it was. Miss Bernice says, come on, people, she got confused in the age difference, not her age. That's what you go through when you date or marry a man 20 to 30 years your age. I get it. Again, I know she's had a hard life. She doesn't look 36 to me. And my friends I'm 38. And I have friends that are 30. She just didn't look 36 to me. But she could be. Andrea LaLoca says, maybe the surgeries are making her look older. I bet she was pretty before her surgeries. Absolutely. Y'all, black don't crack unless you're on crack or meth or cocaine or, hard drugs. But generally, black don't crack. I hate when I see our young sisters go out and do all of this Botox and fillers and stuff. Our skin does not naturally need that, usually. And when you start doing it, it ages you. That's what happened to Vivica Fox. That's what happened to Lil' Kim. And it's just that it sucks that our society is so vain and so image-based that people feel the need to do that at such a young age. Maybe when you're 50 or 60 and laugh lines and stuff, but yeah, no, I just get it. Nina Gordon says, you missed my super chat, Plez. I'm sorry, Nina. I said before, I may miss some things. My mods are thanking people in the comments. I just went back through the part of the chat that I can see, and I don't see it. So I apologize, but thank you for the super chat. if you want to put what you wrote, if you wrote something, you can put it back and I'll try to keep a lookout for it. But I apologize. So yeah, Family and Fiance is this couple that's engaged. They want to know, should they still get married? They all go to this house with this relationship coach named Tracy McMillan. And last night's couple was Renata and Christian. Y'all. Oh, Lord. Oh, Lord. Okay. So Renata and Christian. Renata's the lady. Christian's the man in the relationship. And they are in an open relationship, right? TV is really starting to show off these alternative lifestyles. I also DVR'd Say Yes to the Dress last night because they have a new season on, and I love Say Yes to the Dress. And I watched it earlier today, and they had a throuple where it was a man and woman that were already married, and they were bringing in their girlfriend. And the girlfriend, they were going to have a commitment ceremony. They couldn't call it a marriage for various reasons in their state. But both of the ladies were coming to get their wedding dresses. So it's very interesting to me that TV, especially cable, is now trying to show these polyamorous, polygamous type relationships. Interestingly enough, I don't see a lot of polyandry going on. And for y'all who don't know the difference, polyandry is when a woman has multiple male partners, right? Multiple husbands, boyfriends, whatever. So it's still interesting that you know, that male-centered perspective is still out there. It's all of these women that are cool with bringing in other women until they're not, which is what happened with Renata and Christian. So Renata and Christian are in an open relationship. They brought one of Christian's long-term friends in as a third party. Her name is Mona. They brought her also to the house where the family members and the couple get to hash out their disagreements and why the family doesn't think they're ready for marriage. So Christian allegedly is a Lothario. Y'all, he is a gigolo. He's a ladies' man. The girls love him. The women love him. Y'all, if you're looking at this picture and you want to go watch the episode last night, I felt like I was getting punked. I could be wrong. I don't think I just don't see a bunch of women chasing after Christian. I thought Christian's third party was going to be a man. I honestly thought that. Just my opinion. But no, it was a woman named Mona, who was his friend before. Now, just a little advice to anybody that's out there. I thought people who did this type of stuff knew this. I don't think it's ever a good thing to bring in somebody who the other person knew beforehand. It's never a good look. It never ends well. It never is going to end well. So Mona let everybody know that she was there before Renata. She's going to be there after Renata. She's not going anywhere. She does not care that Christian gave Renata the ring and that Christian wants to settle down with Renata. Mona is fine with effing, and y'all know what that means, effing Christian, and will continue to do so. Said it to the woman's face. Said it to his face. Said it to Christian's mama's face. Christian's mama and best friend were there because they like Renata. They think Renata is a good woman, and they want Christian to get himself together and settle down with Renata. So as the show goes on, they talked to Tracy, the relationship coach on the show. Tracy also brought in an alternative therapist who works with people who live alternative lifestyles. She was really good. And ultimately, Christian and Renata agree to break up with Mona. Now, what I did forget to say was that at one point, Renata, Christian, and Mona were all sexually active together. They were all getting it in together, and they decided to, stop. Renata says she cut it off because she could tell Mona was really in love with Christian. So they let that go. But Christian and Mona were still getting it in on the side, and Renata was over it. She was ready to let it go because Mona doesn't respect boundaries. As soon as Renata and Christian have an issue, Mona would come, she said, across that water. So I'm guessing she lives across town, or like if it's New Orleans in the West Bank, she lives across the river, and she was coming to Christian's beck and call. Whenever he wanted her to show up, he shows up. Honestly, y'all, I felt really sad for Mona. I feel really sad for any woman who, after a man tells you repeatedly, and at this point, he's telling this girl on national TV that he wants her, that he chooses Renata, that he's giving Renata a ring, and Mona was fighting and scrapping to hold on to just sex, that her self-worth was that low, that she literally was cool with being this ride or die. Okay, girl, when he ain't with you, it was like a He's Mine. And He's Mine is one of the songs that I love to hate. Like, it's a bop, Moke and stuff, He's Mine from the 90s. But it's a really sad existence. When a man don't want you, he only wants whatever he's good for. Whatever Christian slanging must be good, because Mona was the definition of, that's mine, and I'm going to stick beside him. Even when somebody else got a ring. She literally said, when Renata gone, it'll be another woman. He can marry her too. I don't care who he's with. I don't care who he's married to. I'm still going to have sex with him. Girl. Sad. So sad. How dreadful. Just terrible, girl. So Christian and Renata agree to break up with Mona. He tells her that he's setting up a boundary. He does not want her, and she is causing an issue between him and Renata. She gets up, she storms off, she's crying, she's embarrassed. How could you do this to me on national television? He's like, I'm not trying to do anything to you. I'm just trying to right my wrongs. I need to put boundaries in place. Too many people are hurting. His family is happy. His mom is happy because they really want him to stop the outside activities and get with Renata. They're more traditional. Renata also lets Mona know, they sit down together and have this conversation with Mona. Mona calls him fake, says, you're just saying that while you're on TV. When you get back home, you're going to call me. I give it 2 weeks. So Mona leaves the house. They're all back together with Tracy, the relationship coach, in the families. Ironically, the families all give them, the remaining family members, Christian's 2 family members, Renata's 3 family members who were concerned about this open relationship that they heard about. They all give them their blessings to move forward and get married. Renata claims that she has a boundary in place, that if Christian does not stop his behavior, she is out. She's giving the ring back. She's done. Renata and Christian both agree that they're going to focus on their relationship, move forward with getting married, setting a wedding date. And if they want to play and get outside party in their relationship, they will just go out that night and find somebody and kick them out the next day. It won't be this ongoing thing. Well, they smile, they have their picture taken, family or fiance. And then in the guess what had happened next section, the little writing afterwards, the producers let us know that Christian indeed did go back to sleeping with Mona when he got home. And Renata called off the wedding and gave the ring back. However, Renata didn't leave. She said she's open to counseling. And Christian says he's working on he and Renata's relationship. Make it make sense, people. You said you had a hard boundary. If this man went back and was doing something with this woman, you were going to leave. He just proved you out to be a liar. Why call off the wedding and give the ring back and you gonna keep doing it? And stay with him and say you need some more counseling. Y'all don't need no more counseling. This man has told you that he's staying with her. He gonna keep messing with her. And she told you she gonna keep messing with him. Because all she need is a little bit. All she need is whatever he's slanging and bringing with this open chest and these glossy pursed lips. Whatever he doing in the bed and under the bed and on the floor and in the car, she gonna keep doing it. It's too much. It's too much. It's too much. Bernice says, Plez, I'm trying to enjoy my buzz from my Grey Goose and you come with this mess. I love you. Miss Bernice, it ain't me. It's these people. Like, this was such foolishness last night. Miss Drea says they need to break up and that's it. Like, yes. Like, girl, stop it. Symphony Love says Oprah's channel is VH1 now. It absolutely is. Y'all got to go watch this. If y'all don't watch this show, the show is off the chain. Last night was another level, though. I was like, sheesh. All right, let me go. Next. Put a Ring on It. So this is in its second season. Put a Ring on It is about these people who have been long-term couples, long-term relationships, and they need to decide, are we going to get married, and get this show on the road? Or are we going to break up? So this season, we have 3 couples. I'll give you my brief thoughts on these couples. We'll go to Power, and then I'll let y'all on to talk. So we have Alexia and Darren. Alexia is a former pro women's basketball player. Darian is a rapper. He was in Field Mob. I'm so sick of being lonely. They had a couple bops in like... 03, 04, 05, somewhere around there. I love Sick of Being Lonely. That was my jam back in the day. Alexia is a very pretty girl, but Alexia has been holding on with this man back and forth, on and off for 14 years. 1-4, a whole teenager, y'all. 14 years, no ring, no serious commitment. Alexia has no children. Darian, on the other hand, has children. His children are younger than 14 years old. So that means he's been having children throughout their back and forth, on and off situation. Queen Paradise, thank you for the super chat. Says, girl, Alexia and Darren are working on my nerves. Let it go. Yes, ma'am. They working on everybody's nerves. Like, it's too much. It is too much. Again, y'all, this is a self-worth thing for me. Don't let nobody take 14 years of your life. Don't. This girl's in her mid-30s. And they're still arguing because he goes to the studio. And Phil Mob ain't had a song in years. I don't know if he's producing or writing or whatever behind the scenes. I don't see you being a big rapper or front runner at this time, sir. So I hope you're getting the long-term coins in music, which is production and writing. I hope that's what you're in that studio doing every night and not what Alexia thinks you're doing. He also has a separate condo that he goes to for Mad Day. His complaints with Alexia and Houghton, thank you, sis, for the super chat. Darian says Alexia is pressing him. He doesn't like stress. He wants things to be natural and just flow. If it ain't flowed in 14 years, ain't no laxative in the world can get that back up on up out of there, sir. Let it go. Break it off. She's clearly not what you want. You've had women with other children. When they talked about the women's situation, I was offended for Alexia. He was like, yeah, I have a kid with her. I mean, I got some others. I ain't had one with her yet. What? I didn't have one That's like you're doing her a favor. Not you want to make her your wife. You want to have a family with her. Yeah, I mean, I can. I ain't got one with her yet. I don't want that. Keep your sperm, sir. Yeah, he's an F boy. That's what that is. And I need Alexia to love herself more and to let this thing go. We gotta stop. I got years invested in this. Okay. But the man who loves you and wants you, men know what they want. Most men will tell you. If you ask men who are married, when did you know you were going to marry your wife? They will all tell you in less than 6 months. Most of them. They know. It don't take 14 years of your life. Then she's running out and crying because he keeps going out on dates with this girl, Kai. And Kai rubs it. They had to go out on some dates at the same place as their partners. Kai was walking past Alexia holding his hand because she didn't like how distracted Darian got when Alexia came in and sat down with her date. This is selfishness, y'all. This is someone who doesn't love you per se. They just don't want to see you with somebody else. So Alexia, you have to break free from that. Like, you gave up so much. This past episode, she talks about how she was so worried about the back and forth of their relationship and thought she wasn't doing enough. So she quit playing basketball and left from overseas to come back here and still continue to do this dance with him. She keeps sacrificing, and it doesn't seem like he's willing to give up anything. So I want you to let that go, Alexia. You're a pretty girl, gorgeous shape, can offer so many things. A lot of the guys you've been paired with have seemed to be nice men. I just don't see this going anywhere. I want her to move on. Let me see what y'all are saying. June's Place, Alexia is about to find out Darren slept with that girl. Exactly. This 504 girl says him and Kyle slept together. Girl, Kyle who? Oh, Kai. Okay. Queen Paradise, Alexia has to focus on Alexia. Absolutely. Evangelist says, I was perplexed at this situation. He seemed nasty to me. She seemed like she was waiting on him to change. I knew in 5 minutes that wasn't happening. Girl. Sophie chats a lot, says Alexia has someone that likes her. She needs to let go of her 20-year-old self and step into her current age. Someone likes her. She should explore that. Absolutely. Linda Dotson says Darren is still playing Alexia. He doesn't want her, but doesn't want her with someone else. She has given up everything and continues to be played. Absolutely. So the next couple is LaRonda and Sean. LaRonda is in the industrial field. I think she works in some type of energy, the energy industry. And Sean is an aspiring comedian and entertainer. Their main issue is Sean's insecurity. LaRonda is very poised. She has her life kind of together. She's on the right track, not kind of together. The girl is put together well. She's gorgeous. She has a gorgeous shape. She has a well-paying job and career. She is the steady one in the relationship. Sean wants that and likes the stability that she brings to his life, but then he's intimidated by it. He doesn't like when she asks questions about his income and the consistency of his income. And that makes him feel insecure that eventually she will get tired of him and she will find a man who can consistently bring bring to the table what she brings. That first few episodes, y'all, when that man actually cried and threw up that she was going out on these dates, it's like, I know people aren't out here getting on shows and don't watch this wasn't a new show. You could have watched the previous season to see that the premise of the show is you go out on dates with new people to test your existing relationship. For him to cry the way he did, and no shade in a man crying or being emotional, But his emotional outbursts are borderline scary. They give very obsessive vibes, right? It's a lot. He did share with the show runner and the therapist that he has a lot of issues relating to his childhood and his relationship with his father. He doesn't want to turn into his father. So I value that transparency. I really like that he is trying to do the work. It seems that he's trying to get there. He has a lot of baggage to unpack. And I just kind of think they need to take a break while he works on himself, and then he can come back to her where he's at a better space and more confident and secure in himself and what he can provide and bring to the table, because he constantly tries to make it her fault, and that's not fair. It's just not. Yeah. I think he's a good guy. I think he means well, but he just has too much of his own work to do. He gets too emotional about every little thing that she does. And again, that is scary. And in these last few episodes, we've seen that he doesn't even trust himself. When he's on these dates and he may like a new woman or be, actively engaged with a new woman, he's like, oh, I can't get too close. What if I like her? Then it'll damage this. That's something you have to work on with you, because if you really want to stay with her and get married, you're going to go through life where you encounter other women who have something that you like. You got to be able to say no. You have to know what you have at home is better or greater. Miss Bernice says insecure means weak. Let that just go and find your king. I agree. Sandra Robinson says last season was a lot lighter. It was. These people this season have a lot going on. Cecilia Glover says Sean needs to take some time to get himself together and find someone after that. I agree. Queen Paradise says Sean is extremely a lot. LaRonda is mothering him. Yes. Sequoia Taylor, thank you so much for the super chat, sis. So happy you are doing this. Thank you. I'm happy that you are here watching and supporting me. I hope you can call in and join in a minute if you want to. That's LaRonda and Sean, y'all. I don't think they're the worst couple. I just think Sean has a lot of self-work to do. I think they're both very good people, but he's a lot. Jessica and Eric. Jessica is your kind of standard IG model, entrepreneur. Eric is a retired football player. Eric has a lot of ego involved in this situation, in all situations. And Jessica is kind of stuck in like this pretty girl mode. I think Jessica is very sweet. I think she's gorgeous. But again, I think she needs to work on self-worth. And sometimes, even though you've been with someone for a while, I think they've been together about 4 or 5 years. LaRonda, and Sean have been together for 3 years, but Jessica and Eric have been together about 4 or 5 years. One of the big issues in their relationship is they have both went through a lot of infidelity on both sides. Eric more so than Jessica, but Eric, he was a football player. He prided himself on how many women he could get in the bed at night, and he wasn't going to really turn anybody down. He was living his best life when he was in the league. Jessica would catch him from time to time, and that eroded her trust in him. And then Jessica decided to play the get back game. Was good for the goose, is good for the gander. And of course, Eric can't handle that. So now any little thing that Jessica does, Eric is wondering if she's out cheating again. He says it was particularly bad because she cheated when he was dealing with having to retire from the NFL and doing, going through such a hard time. And Jessica entertained some other athlete that got in her inbox. Men are funny, baby. They are funny, funny, funny. They can't handle what they dish out at all. Most of them, not all of them. Before y'all come on here, I'm not talking about all men, but these types of ones like Eric, who have been sticking and moving for a very long time, and a woman finally does the same thing to him, even if it's once, they act like the world has come to an end. So honestly, they need to break up. Everybody on this show needs to break up. That's just what that is. Eric is not authentic to himself. Jessica has to work on her self-esteem, and look at how this man talks to her. He has called her dumb, I think, in every episode. He has called her basically dumb, shallow, unintelligent, doesn't bring anything of substance to him and make him better. No one can really make you better. She can encourage you. She can engage you. She can motivate you. But ultimately, it has to be on you. But again, this is this athlete in him. He needs a cheerleader. He needs someone who's going to, not just be there for the business, but give him business ideas. And when he sat down on a date, this was a few episodes ago when they were in the same restaurants going on their dates with the young lady who was a heavier set lady, but she still had a banging body. She had with the men like the whole, Coca-Cola bottle shape. She just was probably more of a size 12 or 14 than Jessica, but she still had the boobs, the small waist, the big booty. And she was funny and she was engaging. The conversation kept rolling. Eric was enamored with her and her conversation to the point that he came home and told Jessica about how much he liked talking to this woman and how much this woman mentally stimulated him and how much Jessica doesn't. Made the girl cry and everything. But then when it came down to the decision-making process, Eric didn't want to continue dating the lady because of her physical looks. He wasn't physically attracted to her. Men like that gotta get it together. Just say you actually kind of like the dime airhead type situation because you care about arm candy. You're still in the phase of life where you care about a trophy wife, not the whole person. And you keep telling Jessica she's not the whole package that you want. It's like you're beating her down when she ultimately cannot give you what you want. But you're too superficial to really go after what you want. That's a personal problem, Eric. And Jessica, do not, if you watch this for whatever reason, or y'all know Jessica, please pull her by this spandex dress and let her know. Don't subject yourself to that. Like, he is beating her down at every turn verbally. Constantly criticizing her, constantly bringing up the past cheating when he did the same thing. Don't just stay in a relationship because you've been there for 4 or 5 years. Like, both of you all can do much better. Much, much better. Sophie Chancellor says all couples need to break up. He made it seem like she can't have a conversation. Why has he been with her so long? That would not take long to figure out that they don't have deep conversations. I agree. Zer says, oh, girl, sis, what is that? You agree or disagree? This 504 girl says, Ashley girl, he needs to shave their hair off. Look, y'all, I try not to get into that, but yes. Now, these pictures that I saw the promo shots for the show, he must have had the really good Biogen on then because it's real strong and thick. But when they're in that thing, there's this clear Bermuda Triangle that, I think he has that same whatever that LeBron has, and he's trying to get plugs. I don't know what it is, but, I know men have issues with their appearance, just like as women do. But it's always interesting to me when I see men that's struggling with that. It's like, boy, shave it off. Be bald. You'll be fine. Maybe he has a weird head shape and he's insecure that he won't look good bald. But what he has right now doesn't look good either. Every time he leans forward in that chair, I'm looking at that hair like, oh, Lord. Oh, God. It's like LeBron. Every offseason, LeBron goes and gets some kind of treatments and they never take or stick. So it's like, quit spending your money on it. It clearly is not working. I don't understand. But yeah, since y'all brought up the hair, I'll just say that. I've noticed that hair too. It's not. No. All right. So that's my thoughts on that. Love the show. These couples are way different than the ones last season. The ones last season, I thought some of them had a chance, but these ones, Last thing before y'all get to call in, I got to figure out a way to cut this down. Next time, I won't do so much on Love and Marriage Huntsville because this is way longer than I thought this was going to be. Powerbook 3, Raising Kanan. If y'all don't watch this, you should watch it. I love it. It's on Stars. This is the third iteration of the Power series. We did the original Power, then they had Powerbook 2, which was with Tariq. Powerbook 4 is going to be a spinoff. I forgot the name of it, but it's going to be with Lorenz Tate's character, focusing on like political power and corruption issues. Then Power 5, I know it's called Force because I'm really looking forward to that one with Tommy. And I didn't think I was going to like Raising Kanan. It's like Kanan is dead. Why we want to know about Kanan's story? But I really like it. And let's be real, 50's ego was not going to allow them to let this be half-baked. This was going to go. And I love it so far. I didn't watch last night's episode, however y'all want to say it, because I didn't want to start talking about something and people say, oh, you're giving spoilers. I haven't watched it yet. So I didn't watch it because I didn't want to mess up and reveal anything in the commentary that happened and that y'all haven't seen. April B, hey sis, thank you for the super chat. So happy to see your beautiful face. Glad you're back. Thank you, sis. I'm glad to be back. This is a really good show, y'all. I liked Powerbook 2. And like I said yesterday, somebody was like, I liked it. I didn't say I didn't like it. I did like Powerbook 2. I enjoyed it for what it was. But compared to this one, you can really see the difference in the quality of acting between trained actors, which most of these people are, I think all of them are, versus singers turned actors or actresses like Powerbook 2 with Method Man and Mary J. Blige. They were good. They did good in their roles, the best that they could, I guess. But this is whole other level. The writing, the everything. So this guy who's here with 50 is young Kanan. This beautiful lady plays Raquel Rock Thomas, which is Kanan's mother, who gets him introduced into the drug gang because basically he's born into a drug family. Most of his mother's boyfriends have been dope dealers. His father was a dope dealer. They're either all dead or in jail. And so Rock is the female boss on the streets holding it down for the whole distribution gang. The gorgeous Omar Epps, of course, is in it. He plays the detective Howard. He's like kind of like, Denzel Washington Train Day. They always have this cop that runs the streets in these types of stories that are more in the game than actually like protecting and serving. This gorgeous girl is Jukebox, which she plays Jukebox, which is Kanan's cousin. If you remember from the original Power, Jukebox was later on what we saw in the original Power is his lesbian cousin who was a police officer and would help Kanan with a lot of different things. So this shows them in their teenage years. This gorgeous girl plays Davina, who is Kanan's like high school crush, the girl that he's been wanting forever, but is currently in a relationship with a rival kind of drug lord's worker, Buck 20. This is Kanan's uncle, Marvin. He is like the flashy uncle that no one really takes seriously. Like he's family, so he's in the family business, but he's the loose cannon of the family business. If you watch New Jack City, he's like the G Money. He's the one that does whatever he wants to do and lots of time brings bad attention and publicity to the family. This one is Uncle Lulu. He's Rock's like more serious right-hand man. Whenever Rock has to take care of most of the business, Lulu is right there with him. If you watch the second episode, he's also kind of like the enforcer. He does the dirty work that has to be done. This lady plays Detective Burke, who is riding along with Detective Howard, but he's not really letting her know anything. It's literally just like in Training Day. Like, he's not paying this white girl any mind. And then we have this gorgeous man who is playing Symphony. He works as a bartender at one of the clubs that the family uses to, you know, run their product through and sell their product to. He's a bartender, but he's also in school for public planning and urban planning and policy. Y'all, I love his scenes. He's so smart. Again, I'm into a lot of housing and development things. So to hear him give the background of housing and developments and high rises and how this company came to be the way it is, especially from a planning and a real estate perspective. One day I might do a video about things like that. Like some of the stuff that they're saying, like that's what I mean. This is really good writing, really good facts that they're dropping in the midst of entertainment. You know, a lot of people don't know that Central Park was a thriving African-American neighborhood and community before the government decided to go in and take it over and turn it into Central Park. There are other stories like that around this country where our government went in and took over thriving Black areas and turned them into parks or lakes or whatever they wanted to turn it into, honey child. This, where we live, it's interesting. So, or where some of us live. I know some of y'all are international. What are the characters that I missed that maybe not on this page? Kanan had a homeboy, Derek D. Wiz. He has another homeboy, famous. The rival drug dealer name was Buck 20. There's this dope Black principal at Kanan's school named Dr. West. And then the competing distributor's name is Unique. That's the one who Rock has been going back and forth with, arguing over territory, blocks that they should run, stuff like that. So basically, the story is following Kanan, how he got involved in the drug trade, what his family was like. It's very interesting to me to always see a woman who has to balance being a mother and being that deep into crime. And so the mother was trying to keep Kanan out, trying to get him in the new, I think it was like the school for Bed-Stuy that gifted kids go to. Kanan could test in. Kanan decided to throw the test. He marked all of his answers. He just went down the answer sheet, marked B, because he didn't want to leave the school and his friends and his family. He didn't want to, even though the principal nominated him, he was very gifted and talented. And a lot of people don't really want to admit this, but most real drug dealers, are smart. I'm not talking about the ones on the corner. I'm talking about the distributors, the ones who actually get the plugs, like the plugs, like they are smart. They have to be. And I just wish so many of our young people knew that those are transferable skills. For real. Like, you shouldn't, I don't want you to live that life. You shouldn't do that life. But the reality is some people do. And the reality is that's really what logistics and distribution is about. They do it every day. Keeping a supply, demand, sales. To figure all of that out on your own with no formal training or book knowledge, that means you are naturally smart and gifted. So y'all, don't sell drugs. Just do it the legal way. Get into trucking. It's very lucrative. But yeah, anyway, I love this show. Watching Kanan trying to navigate and watching his mother trying to manage him. She tried to keep him out of the game. Everybody's like, nope. Between you and his father, he was born in the game. He was destined to be in this game. Seeing his mother trying to get back in and trying to have her relationship with Symphony. Seeing Uncle Marvin act a fool and throw parties at clubs and get to fighting over white women. Marvin, honestly, y'all, no shade to white women. Y'all are cool. But Marvin is a walking stereotype. He just is. He's the flashy uncle who likes to ride around in his red Benz with his gold rims. I also love seeing the old luxury cars, y'all. The old Range Rover, the old Benz, the old Beamers. I just love everything about this show, how they set it up. And I watch credits. So I don't know about last night's episode. I don't think I paid attention to the first episode, but the second episode was directed by Mario Van Peebles. And if you know, him and his father, Melvin, directed New Jack City. So they went to a very good source to get the direction and just the story down and the pictures and all of the fashions, the bubble jackets, the leather. It's so 80s, early 90s. Like, it's so, the cinematography is excellent to me. They're doing a really good job. I like Lulu because he's loyal. He's down for the cause. I really was sad when Lulu, did his Bo Jackson duties on Kanan's friend D Wiz, but I think they knew that D Wiz was going to run his mouth. He was already running his mouth at school, and he was looking at Davina. So time will only tell if they get rid of Famous too, because he is caught up in it. When you have witnesses to your dirt, sometimes you have to get rid of the witnesses to protect yourself in that lifestyle. That's how they think. It's a hard life to live, but it's very interesting to see. I like scripted shows for this reason, because they tell stories, and if you watch them closely enough, you're also supposed to learn lessons. It's not just entertainment. There are a lot of lessons to me that can be learned from these types of shows, like the knowledge that Symphony is dropping. That was real stuff that he was telling about high rises and the historical relevance of what high rises and penthouses were to the elite class, and then how they use them and turn them into the lower level on projects and cram people in together. Yeah, it's a really good show. Let me see, anything else? Jukebox, we find out, was an aspiring singer. She was in choir. She would get out on the street and hustle to get her money for her studio time. She would sell bootleg clothes, do what she had to do to get her studio time. She didn't want any of her dad's money. Marvin, the flashy uncle, is Jukebox's dad. It seems like they kind of have a strained relationship. Dr. West gives me like the female version of Lord, why I can't think of what was Morgan Freeman's name in Lean on Me? Yeah. That's who Dr. West is giving me. Strong black female principal that's just trying to keep this high school and the kids on the right track. So I really like her. I really like Dr. West. I hope nothing happens to her. Thank you, Star Alexander. Joe Clark. Yeah, she's giving me the female Joe Clark. She's getting everybody together, wants them to get out of this urban jungle that they're in, wants them to do better, sees her students that have good promise. You could tell she did not buy into the mess when Davina got into a fight with another girl when Buck 20 gets shot, and her mom shows up cussing her out. But then when the principal comes in, it's like, I'm a single mother raising 2 girls. It's hard out here. And then later we see Davina walking her baby sister around the block, and you can tell that her mother is the type of mother that just gets with me and leaves the girls to fend for themselves, leaves Davina to raise her siblings. So it's a good story. It's a good storyline. Victoria Fernandez says it teaches about the drug world that we don't know about, what's going on in these streets. Absolutely. especially if you come from a sheltered lifestyle, that you didn't see any of this growing up. You were, I guess, blessed to be shielded from some of the ways of this world. It's a really good show, y'all. I'll go into next week. I'll be reviewing like this episode that came on today, so it'll be more of a accurate what actually went on in the episode versus these are just my thoughts on the overall show and what has happened so far. Hey, Tanita Baylor, thank you for the super chat. Hey, Plez Popcorn from Philly. Hey, Popcorn. Good talk yesterday. Gina Wilson, online church was a blessing. Franklin Avenue Baptist Church in New Orleans. Check it out. Happy Sunday, Plez. Yes, that was my church when I lived in New Orleans. So if y'all want to see a good service, Reverend Luter is an excellent pastor, and he is at Franklin Avenue Baptist Church in New Orleans. They are streaming their services, just like lots of people are with COVID. So, y'all, that is it. I think that's pretty much all I wanted to say about it. Like I said, I love Kanan. I love the actor that's portraying him. I love the mother. Everything about the storyline so far, I think, has been excellent writing, excellent directing, excellent styling. Just these actors and actresses are doing the thing. And for me, a lot of these people were new names. I don't watch a lot of like movies or even like a scripted show really has to get. In fact, like the original Power, I didn't get into Power until like season 3. I had to go back and binge it. I didn't have Stars, didn't want it. And y'all, to this day, I only get Stars when Power is about to come on. And now, why can't I think of names today? The one that's about strippers in Mississippi at the Pink. The strip club is called the Pink. The Pink. Those are the only shows I watch. And if those aren't on, then I don't really watch them. So let me get some of this stuff out of. I don't have Stars. Well, I don't have cable. I kind of just do things through the apps. P-Valley. Thank you, Mallory. P-Valley is the show. NBA Cententia says, Me Too Plez, only reason to get Stars, those two shows. Absolutely. They had another show, though, that I might watch now that I have it since Stars is back on. Some Black women. I think it was called Run the World. Something like that. I think I want to watch that. But I'm going to drop this link, y'all. You all can call in. Give your thoughts on any show that we talked about. All shows, just like I said earlier with the rules. Stay on topic. And I like to hear what you all have to say. This is our grab bag. This is our Sunday chat session where we can engage with each other about all this stuff. Y'all were asking me, what's your thoughts on this? What's your thoughts on that? These are my thoughts. I saw yesterday, I think somebody mentioned like the Encore and Sisters and all that stuff on TV. Y'all, like I said, I gave a list earlier of content creators who cover lots of those things. I don't watch all those shows. And I got to be honest with y'all. I'm not going to start watching all of them. I don't watch Sisters. I don't watch the Encore. I am interested in seeing whatever this show is. It's going to come on ABC in the fall with Brandy, Naturi Naughton, and somebody else. Just because I love the Brandy Norwood. Always have, always will. So, yeah. Let me see. Miss Indy said, let me take this thing down. Hold on, y'all. Plez, did you watch Seeking Sister Wives? The Snowdens were a whole mess, especially Dimitri Snowden. I think I watched them like the first season. After that, I didn't watch it. I didn't keep up with it. A lot of TLC shows for me are hard to keep up with because they just do a lot. Like 98 Fiance, I used to love. And then I guess because it took off, they did all these different spin-offs and stuff. Now I see Darcy and Stacey have their own show, and it's too much. It is too much. Cancer Moonlight Fairy says the encore is ridiculous. Miss Hines Plez, you will love Sisters. Okay, sis. I might put a couple of ones on my DVR to see if I like it. Shy Girl at least says the writing on P-Valley was fire too. It really was. I love P-Valley and Uncle Clifford. Yes, no other reason for stars. Absolutely, sis. None. None at all. So that was my spiel for today, y'all. I know it was way longer than I thought it would be. I have to figure out a way to get this under, let me see, 5 shows. If I do 10 minutes per show, that should give you under an hour. So yeah, I'm gonna tighten this up. But this was my first time trying this, y'all. I know I saw somebody say earlier that they don't like the lumped in. They'll prefer, I will figure out how to do timestamps, and I'll try to timestamp this for anyone who is watching the replay if you're only interested in certain shows. But yeah, I don't have the time right now to film a review for each show, especially since I'm not going to actually do, this happened and that happened and that happened and that happened. I just want to give my opinion on what happened in the episode. And so I thought this would be the coolest way to do it. This one is already running long, so I'm not going to talk about any hot topics or trending topics. I'm just doing what I had in the thumbnail. But for future grab bags, y'all, it'll be shows, and then some of these shows are about to end. Like Put a Ring on It, I'm sure is coming to an end. So those will move on out, and I'll phase, if I'm watching any new shows, I'll phase those in. And I'll also talk about hot topics that I feel I want to talk about or that are interesting to me. If you all have something that you want me to talk about, just send me a message, a DM or something, or leave a comment and let me know something that you're interested in hearing about. And I'll be sure to add it in if it's something that I'm familiar with. Amy J, Powerbook 2, Raising Kanan, and Force are all coming this year. So I'm going to be on start. Force is coming this year? They're going to 5 and not 4? Because Force is 5. April B says, Run the World was good. It has a lot of potential to be a great show. Okay, sis, I may look at it because like I said, when it came up, I think in my recommendations after I watched Raising Kanan. So I was like, oh, this is interesting. I never saw that. So I'll look into that. Also, I love creative reality TV. So like Shark Tank is my absolute favorite. I can't wait for Shark Tank to come back on. And Project Runway. I don't know if they're doing any new seasons of Project Runway, but a year or two ago when they got rid of Heidi Klum and Tim Gunn on Project Runway, Tim Gunn and Heidi Klum got a deal with Amazon through Amazon Prime Video for a show called Making the Cut, which is another show that follows fashion and fashion design. And I love it. So it has come out with some new seasons, even with the panorama going on. They isolated people at some resort in LA or something, and they were able to film the show. So I love seeing people be creative and entertaining, and not necessarily entertaining, but creative and going after their goals. I always tell people, if I wasn't an attorney, I would probably be some type of interior designer or graphic designer. I love to see things start off as just basic, and then someone uses their brains and creates this tangible thing that you can actually see. It started as an idea. It started as a brand, just like somebody's brainchild, and to see it actually come to fruition, I love that. Like I said before, I love Say Yes to the Dress. What else do I like all the time? So, yeah, that's the kind of stuff that I'm watching right now. Like I said, I love to see other cultures as well. So for that reason, I like Shaws of Sunset and Family Karma. So, yeah. All right, hold on. We got a caller. 1 second. Hello, hi.
Hello.
I can't hear you.
Hi.
Hey, how are you?
I'm doing good, doing good. Happy Sunday.
Happy Sunday to you too. What's your name?
My name
Is it
is
just
Mel.
hi?
Oh, say it again?
It said hi, so I didn't know if that was your name.
No, my name is Mel.
Hey Mel, how are you?
Thank you. You know what? I came in through the door and I saw your show was on YouTube. And it's hot here in New York City. It's very hot. So I just sort of was trying to get myself together real quick, put my light on. So let me get on right now and talk to Miss Plez real quick about this, what she's talking about with these topics. So I'm loving it, the show.
Right. Let's get it. Come on. What you think?
Well, you know what? You schooled me on some of these programs because I would tell you some of the programs that you were talking about, I didn't know about. I mean, when I saw that you talked about Potomac, I said, oh, I got to get in real quick to put my little 2 cents on Potomac. So, you know what? I think this year, whatever, the Potomac is starting a little slow. You know, it's, it's a little slow than usual. And I mean, you know what? I know we can't talk about past. We ain't talking about nothing but the past. I know you a little bit about your YouTube history, so we ain't going there. But I want to ask you just, I think for me, Giselle probably is one of the most compelling housewives on Bravo. I'm not saying that in a good way, because she has the ability to be so. She has the ability to start so much problems and almost not really cower to it. She really can. She can take the fire basically. And I just, I'm not a person who studies psychology, mental. But I would love to talk to her because she has that ability, almost like Kenya a little bit, where she can take the heat. And I don't understand why she does it. Basically, I mean, I think this is 6 years in, and I don't understand why she has to be so hurtful sometimes. Why she had to be so hurtful.
Well, so she has a lane and she chooses to stick to it. And honestly, she's not getting. I don't see her getting that much backlash. Like, she gets a little, but she doesn't get it. Let's just be clear. We all know who I love on Real Housewives of Atlanta. She doesn't get it the way Kenya gets it.
Yeah.
And she does pretty much the same thing that Kenya does.
Right.
The difference is Giselle actively goes after people that she even claims were her friends, like Karen.
Yeah.
Her and Karen, I've watched every season, and I have yet to see where Karen went at Giselle first. From even the beginning with Giselle sitting in the middle at Karen's party.
Right.
It's like Giselle is a true mean girl. She is a true crap starter, and she doesn't, honestly, I think it's pretty privileged.
Yeah, you know what I was going to think too. And you're right. You're absolutely right. And I think too, she reminds me. Well, I think that it just must be her upbringing and specifically her time in college. I want to say that maybe because she was so pretty, she is so pretty. I won't say in past tense she's a beautiful woman. I think that maybe she had some hard times with her beauty. I listened to so many conversations of women who talk about being beautiful, whether you be white or black, and how much of a hard shell you have to put on because of sometimes the way they're treated by other women, and also in a predatory way, sometimes they may be treated by men. And, in that time in college, she was the head woman in charge. So she was able to sort of play those games and not really people to really, knock her up a little bit, say, no, you know what, you're hurting my feelings. Stop it. Nobody really checked her like that, except for Karen. And I just don't understand. And the thing that confused me about her too is she smiles so much, and you can see through the TV the woman's hurting. I feel like there's no way in the world people could bring a binder or call you hotbox or I mean they throw everything at this woman, and you could sit there and be smiling about it. I know you don't want to show people they got me a little bit right here, but come on, be human. Don't be a robot. Show that you're being triggered sometime and maybe that's why you're being so hurtful to people. That would make me feel comfortable with her a little more, because I knew people like Giselle in my own life, and if somebody's getting you together all the time and you're smelling, I don't want to be friends with you. That shows me a little bit that you might be a psychopath a little bit. Like, how can you sit there and smile when people are talking to you this way? So, yeah, she just seems very, yeah.
But it's only a return serve.
Yeah, well,
no
of
one
course,
just starts that with her. And so that's the issue. She starts it and can't then handle when it's done back to her. Even this season, with her bringing up Michael's infidelities. Are you sure you're okay with Michael when the new baby comes and this nanny? Why is that your concern? Why is that any of your business? Did you have a nanny around Jamal? Like, so that's what I'm saying. If somebody then came back at her with that, then she acts clueless, like, oh my God, why would you talk about my children's father like that? Like, that's what I don't like with Giselle. She dishes it and cannot take it. Again, she's a true mean girl. She thinks she can pick fun, as she calls it, and poke at people and require everybody else to be transparent. And then she does none of the sort. She's never transparent about anything. Maybe about those girls a little bit. But even with Sherman, it was superficial. With what was the other guy? Yeah. She never showed her true self on the show. And the other ladies do that at least a little bit. She doesn't do that at all, but then wants to hold everybody else accountable and bring everybody else's dirty laundry to the table.
That's right. I think Sherman was also one of those weird relationships that was like, it was through cloak and dagger and shades and shadows. There was nothing really there that we could see. She's just something. And I know now, I want to say this, I know it's a little controversial. I love Candace. I've loved her from, why I love her. Now, the thing is, she makes mistakes. The woman makes mistakes, but as a Black, young, beautiful woman, I've always thought she was so beautiful, such a beautiful woman. She's going to school, and she's she's not doing like what the girls on New York and other shows do, where they go, I want to become, she's becoming these things, like the school and acting and singing. I'm like, she inspires me. She really does. I love the woman, but she makes mistakes, and I really wish that her and Monique could still. I'm always praying for this, that maybe behind the cameras they can come together and say, you know what, girl, I was mad at Giselle, and I just got you all together real quick, and I'm sorry that I felt a certain way about you and Ashley. I would love to see them get a friendship off camera, because I think Karen had a point that when they were together, the other people just sort of messed it up. And I think that I love Candace, and I'm loving what she's always, and I love what she's doing this year. And she's not really troubling me that much. I just think she's fun, and she's cute, and she's very girly. And I love her marriage, and I love her children. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful family. Absolutely beautiful family. But maybe during the end of the season, we might see her be a little more messy or whatever. But she's very girly, very cute. Ashley, she's pregnant. She's a new mom, and she's been one of my triggers. I would tell you of that show, because Ashley is reminding me like mini Giselle a little bit. That's all I'll say. Ashley is mini Giselle, and she's been pregnant for about 100 years right now. So she's not being shady. She usually is. But I'm never going to sleep on Ashley, because the moment she put those kids in the crib, she's going to go out and be starting messing up everybody's lives and everything. I'm like, oh Lord. But so that's just what I think about Potomac. But you know what? I love you. You're dancing on Instagram, and your stories and everything. I never got a chance to say this. And to be transparent with you, I knew a little. I won't mention the names, but there was so much things happening, and I was confused. So I watched all the YouTube shows, and I just sat back and to watch everybody just sort of do their own thing. It's just, I think it's the way it was meant to be. And I'm loving everybody individually. I'm loving your show. And you just have, you obviously a woman of class. You're doing everything like you're supposed to. And you're not really married to YouTube. You have your own life. But yeah, it's very good. It's very inspirational. It's no good energy. I like the content you put out on social media and on YouTube. I do.
Oh, thank you so much for that, for those compliments. Yeah, I love singing and dancing and stuff. So that was my way of kind of, people were like, oh, you don't post enough, you're not engaging enough. And I got to tell people all the time, and people don't want to believe it for whatever reason, I am naturally an introvert. So when I'm up here with you all, that's why I like people to call in so that I can engage and I'm just not sitting here talking to myself. But also with everything that's going on in the world, I think it made it more comfortable for me because I take what's going on in the world seriously. I'm not just out and about every day because especially where I live, these numbers are crazy and I'm not trying to get sick. So this is kind of a way for me to engage with other people who like the things that I like and who are interested in the things in life that I'm interested in. So, but that's different things. One day it's, something about God and growth and professional development. And the next day it's this reality TV stuff. I can't lie and say these aren't my guilty pleasures and things that I watch because I do. I'm a human. I like different things, even though I have a career. I don't want to talk about law and politics and policy all the time. Like that's the pits. Like who wants to, but there are people who do that. That's just not me.
Okay.
Part of my life
and that's
curious, and I like to, just my spirit is more of a free spirit and a fun loving person. So when I leave that 9 to 5, I want to, do other things.
Let your head down. Exactly. Of course. Listen, I mean, everybody, but I always tell you too, you said your career, that too, learning, watching YouTube a little bit, that's an inspiration to, again, with Candace, as I talked about Candace, any person in these years who are being a lawyer or starting a business, anytime we have visibility in any shape and we're doing it, it's inspiration to somebody. And to have you also on YouTube, as you say, with your career, which is very important, very big, to be a Black woman in law, that's a big thing. It's wonderful. And then also have, this side when it comes to, the YouTube shows and stuff like that. I love OWN too. And I miss, it's tragic what happened to Sweetie Pie. That was my favorite show of all time. Because I love Tina Turner. My mother loved Tina Turner. I love Tina Turner. So to see sort of a little bit of that world and that food and everything. And then, I couldn't even talk about what happened to that family. It's tragic, very tragic. But I love OWN, and I'm learning to get into the Love Huntsville because of these reviews. Yes, yeah. I'm learning. Listen,
they have a lot of good shows. I liked Ready to Love. It's gone off now. But I love the other thing I wanted to cover, but it was so much and I needed to take a break with the Black Love series that they do where it's this married couple that put these documentaries together where they interview and engage Black celebrity or social media famous couples, and they talk about the actual hardships that they've gone through, and not just the hardships, the good parts about marriage, the hard parts about marriage. I love that as someone who is still technically single, but it always gives me something to look up to because I didn't come from a 2-parent household. So I always tell people part of what our community struggles with, a lot of us didn't see that marriage growing up, or at least a healthy marriage. And so we fall into these like very idealistic, romanticized things. And so when trouble comes, we don't know how to deal with them. So I just love those types of things. OWN has a good variety of like ratchety type stuff, but actually really good, inspirational, empowering stuff as well. So yeah. Thank you so much. I'm glad, that you resonate and can what I'm doing resonates with you and that you can relate to everything. So that's what we're here to do. So I hope you check out some of those shows. Like I said, Family or Fiance comes on right after Love and Marriage Huntsville. Put a Ring on It comes on Friday nights. But you don't have anything else to check it out.
You know what? I will get back into OWN. I miss Sweetie Pie. That was my years of that channel, and I love Oprah. So I wish she was more into the channel, like really spread it out. But to be quite frank, when people were talking about Love and Huntsville, I turned in and said, even though that man was giving his wife a lot of promise, I said, "Damn, that man's fine. I gotta watch this show."
Oh yeah.
Listen, you know what? I was watching for the chocolate for the good looking man over there. Like, what's going on there? So they have them. All of the men are nice looking in their own way. Marceau is more brutish, but I like brutish. I tell people all the time, like as a girl growing up, because it goes all the way back.
Beauty and the Beast, baby, you could have kept the Beast, what the Beast, turned into. You could have kept that pretty boy. Yeah, I would have been with Gaston all day. I loved Gaston and his left chin, and he had the women. He was horrible, but I liked Gaston. I love. Oh Lord, I said this before. I probably shouldn't tell anybody, but men that are built like Foghorn Leghorn, like really alpha male type, bossy, told you what to do, lightweight kind of misogynist, but not really. like their levels. Like, do you just believe you should be an alpha man and have your place, or are you like Lil Boosie T.I. level of misogyny? Can't do that. Can't do that.
No. Yes,
there are some handsome black men, country men, I like that too. Corn-fed men, like we were talking about yesterday with. Do you watch Married at First Sight?
Mm-hmm.
The new guy that they have, Gil, he's Colombian, but yeah, they have some good men on reality TV right now, or nice looking men. I ain't gonna call them good, but if Martell could just sit there and be quiet and smile and keep his stuff in his pants, he would be a good catch for somebody.
Listen, he can't say he got low testosterone. That man out there sleeping with every Tom, Dick, and thing. I'm like, what the hell? I mean, what the hell is going on? They said, wow, it's like very strong woman to deal with that kind of trauma. It's like, wow.
Yep.
Wow.
Absolutely.
But you know what? Just sending you blessings, and this is a wonderful show. And this is new for me, really popping up on like this, whatever. But thank you very much for having me on and listen to my opinion. Thank you so much.
Thank you for coming. Thank you. Come back next week.
I will. Thank you.
All right. Thank you. See you later. Bye-bye. Bye. Hey, sis. How are you?
How you doing?
The hair looks gorgeous.
Oh, thank you. It's
fresh.
Yeah. Nah. I covered the edges so they appear to be in peak performance on other videos. Wonderful to see you back. If it's one thing we need to protect as Black women, it's our mental health, because the Lord knows they don't want us to do that. The court of public opinion does not want us to do that. But I don't know what it is. I'm like you. I can't be drawn or driven to watch Tyler Perry productions. I go 20 minutes in and I'm like shaking and cringing. And I'm just like, this man is a literal billionaire. And I can tell there's a green screen in the back. That's number one. So if I can't get past the green screen and then the writing, and then, you're scrolling Instagram and people are reposting scenes that are utterly ridiculous. Apparently there was some slap and the guy did a triple Lutz to land on the ground. And I said, that's all I need for me to not watch these shows. I want to desperately support. I can't. It's the writing. And the curls just not quite. One day I'll get there, maybe. But as long as there are p-valleys and things of that nature, I can't see me moving my schedule to sit through. I want to, but I'll just hear about it on the streets, but I can't do it.
Yeah, I have with my streaming, I get a DVR, so like a cloud-based DVR. So I may put a couple of shows on there just to watch it. But I always tell people, love Tyler, love what he represents for the culture. Very proud of him. That studio is dope. Thank God they got to do that opening ceremony before this stuff came through. But I haven't watched a Tyler Perry production since probably like 2012 or 2013 or something. And I had gotten to a point where I enjoyed his non-Medea movies. Like The Family That Prays is one of my favorite movies of all time. Like I love that movie. If I catch it on TV, I'm watching it. When they play I Hope You Dance, I cry. Like that is my movie. But it's, because it had Sanaa Lathan, all these, good actual actors and actresses. But yeah, the Medea that made me stop watching was the one with Tiana Taylor and Bow Wow. That Byron. Oh my God. Like that bothered the crap out of me. And I just couldn't. My aunts would always be like, oh, we're going to see Medea it's Halloween and Medea's Christmas. I'm like, no, thank you. No, thank you. No ticket for me. Like, and then the shows, I never got into even the sitcoms.
Yeah.
You have all of this wealth and you don't, like you said, the quality isn't there, even down to the basics with the wigs and the hair. You're in Atlanta, the mecca of black hair. And you ain't got nobody that you can bring in to get these wigs together. And then your excuse is the budget. Sir, you are almost, I think he should be almost a billionaire at this point, but it's not going to cost that much in the budget. And it will probably pay off because people like me and you would come back and start watching. If the quality went up a little more, you could get yourself to a more diverse, not even a diverse audience. You could grow your audience to bigger places, and then he'll say, oh, I write all my own stuff. I don't know if that's a brag. Get real writers.
We can tell that it is just you with the plottizations and how they're going nowhere. And I'm like you, I want to be there. I want to attend. My aunts are the same way. You gotta come. And I'm like, I would rather watch Avengers again and Endgame before I go back, because there are black creatives that are doing the damn thing, like Michaela Cole and Issa, and so I want to be there, y'all, but I can't. As soon as I pull up, I gotta back out because it's too much,
girl. too much. Too much. I try, and then I'm like, because I think it was what's her name, DeVale on Sisters. Mm-hmm. Yeah, so I think I did watch like the first one or two because I wanted to try to support him because I really love him and his family and his wife and their boys and everything that they do on social media. Like, I think they're super dope, especially for young people. I think I'm in the millennial population, and he is too. We're pretty much the same age. So I think they're a great family to look up to. So I wanted to support his efforts since he's always wanted to be an actor. But
yeah, I was the same way. And I
was that Ronnie said she thinks the series quality has improved. So I'll try to watch some of the later, but them first few episodes, I was like, nah.
I got through 2 and I was just like, I don't even want to see where this goes. So maybe it has. I hope it has, but the minute that I say I'm going to watch it, something else comes on, and I'm like, I'm over here now. Like, I binged Valley in maybe a day and a half. It was so
me too,
so good.
It was
party. I was like, I should have been watched this damn series.
I'm always late to the party. My friends on Facebook were talking about P-Valley every weekend. I'm like, what are y'all talking about? What are y'all talking about? But like I said, I also cut off my stars when Power isn't on. So when Powerbook 2 came on, I was like, oh, this is the show P-Valley that everybody was talking about. Uncle Clifford, no crying at the paint. I said, so let me go check this out. And I loved it. I was so mad. These shows, all of these stars and Netflix shows make me mad with that. Like, how you come out with 8 episodes and then don't come back for another year? Like, I know your production doesn't take you that long to take a whole year for your new season to come out.
Come on. It's like they got the Housewives working production more than these shows.
Mm-hmm.
They go off and now they're like, take a 2-month break and they're
exactly
back. Like, wait a minute, didn't you?
I don't even think it doesn't even feel like 2 months anymore. It's like, yeah, you're right.
Yeah. So I'm with you, and I've caught up on Love and Marriage Huntsville, which is becoming. I've always enjoyed it, but I got to give Carlos credit. Like, he's pushing the show to improve and move forward. And it seems like he will not put you on payroll unless you are vulnerable and willing to tell your business. He will move you out of the slot if you're not willing to share all the tea.
Well, girl, I need Tiffany to share her tea.
Okay.
Not Monster's tea and not LeBarrick's tea.
Now here's the thing. The ex-wife. Now I wonder what was her reaction watching this episode, because Kimmy didn't even know about this situation. And so that means the streets, the kids obviously are talking or whatever, because they're aware I'm on TV. But the fact you brought something to the table and you thought, because I mean, people are getting so reckless with what they're willing to do to get a permanent slot. But children, really? Like, there's enough mess in Huntsville that you don't have to bring. You could have brought up the ex-wife, or I heard you having problems, and your husband has he figured out his career decisions, stuff like that. But children, and I'm minor, not even grown children. They're talking about minors now, and I was like, "Oh, is she trying to get drugged? Like on the first
girl, trying to do something? You know, we got to say it one more time." like, girl, I'm telling you, she bust up in there like Latoya Ali. Like, man, we don't know you. We don't know you. In a minute, we not gonna like you because you coming in way too hot. You coming. That's what I'm saying, Carlos. I don't know. I like a little mess, but not this kind of mess. Like, even if she had an issue with Kimmy herself, but you talk about a kid monster. Wasn't he vaping in the bathroom? Who monster? Like, girl, that girl was trying to let you know, don't go there. What are you talking about? And why are you talking about it at a grown folks party?
This ain't even my party. I am here to celebrate with my friend that we just got to a good spot, and now you bringing in my child, like, and then for her to make the comment about Destiny's, I said, "Oh, listen, I don't want to see violence on this show, but in this case, I will give a waiver."
She came in and chose violence. She chose it.
Listen,
she could have chose peace. She could have chose, do a little pot stirring. She would have did better asking Kimmy about Kiowa. like
are you working things out with the ex-wife? Like, that would have been maybe it'd been a ridiculous read, but I've been here for it. But wrong. Read the room, fool. What is wrong with you?
Oh, Sandra said Melody was loving it. Look, Sandra, I will say, I thought this when it was going on. Melody was over there sniggling into her napkin a little bit too much. But also, Melody she's an EP, so these ratings and stuff will help her. But she always brings in the mess. She brought in Destiny and created her mess with the oh Lord, that was the silliest mess though, about the chicken man and all of that stuff. But like, girl, why all your friends come in like this? Like, they can't just walk in the room, I'm not gonna say you should be thankful or gracious to be there, but let us warm up to you first.
Exactly.
We just met you and the husband and the two little boys. We got like one scene of them. Oh, and I guess we had that other scene. See, I liked her when she met with Melody and they're trying to get the internship together within the HBCU. I'm always going to stand for HBCU. I graduated from one. So I liked that part of her. But this other side, oh no, ma'am. And then all of that smugness, talking about, well, I don't know why Destiny ran away from the table. That's too dramatic. But I mean, it's her birthday party. I'll let her cry if I want to. Girl, you ain't about that life. I can look at you and tell you ain't about that life.
No.
Destiny gonna drag you by that nice curly hair.
By that silk dress, she will.
Girl, you and your forehead need to butt out, ma'am.
Yeah. I mean, because of that, I'm like, the energy you're getting. Listen, once you start on that note, I'm going to find all your tea. I'm going to find out why you were in waiting for a decade before you tricked the man on a baseball field during coronavirus. Because listen, Mel was laughing at the same time. All her tea is already on the street. So that means it's already been delivered. But you on baseball fields tricking people into ceremonies. We want to know why that had to happen. We would like, I want to know.
Girl, the article made it sound so nice. The article I made it sound so nice. Oh, Louis surprised Tiffany on her birthday in 2018 with the engagement. So she thought she should surprise him with the wedding at his 40th birthday party.
Ma'am, wait a minute. So they've been engaged like Martin and Gina. Like, it's been 3 years, might as well do 8 type situation. And she would have been 8. And listen, when Kimmy said she had to wait 7 years, I said, wait a damn minute now. What is wrong with y'all? What is going on?
I had to go look it up, child, because I'm like, did this woman, like the way Kimmy said it, I was like, was Tiffany one of these people we see on social media on one knee asking a man to marry her? No,
Okay.
man, please tell me she wasn't that desperate. So when I went and looked at it, the article said, no, they had actually already, like they were already engaged, but she, you know, since he did it for her birthday, she wanted to surprise him with it. And like I said, okay, fine. But for me, the pinnacle in the surprise weddings was the Alfred and Sherelle Duncan. So I'm like, if you was going to do it, make it a day for the man. Why is he up there in them wrinkled dockers and their button-down shirt? And the kids, you know, the kids were kids. They looked nice. Mm-hmm. But, because at least they had on white. But you didn't have a suit jacket for the man?
Like it's getting weird tonight.
No, like something, you didn't have something for him. And then his response, and I know reporters can get, you know, statements wrong, but his response was, well, I had a beautiful woman standing there waiting to marry me, so why not? I'm like,
why not?
Like, wow, the enthusiasm. Ooh, that man was ready to get that done. Like, and then him talking about, he looked much better in that picture, because on the thing, even when I read that, I was like, he's 40.
He don't
look 40. Yeah, they just got married last year.
4 and a 0.
I'm
gonna just let that be, because I was like, no, all right, we'll leave that where it is and give it to God, because you know, some hard living does things to people. But
I don't know, and he's like a baseball. They did it on the baseball field because he's like a baseball coach or hitting. I don't know enough about how to say it, but he like, you know, teach a batting coach or whatever. Yeah. Like he helps a lot of the youth with baseball and batting and stuff like that. So it seems like he has a good career. He's well known and respected. She does as well. That's why I'm like, ma'am, you're supposed to come from polite society. I know you ain't sitting at nobody's table talking about nobody's kids in private school. Like you do. Well, I'm not. To me, you shouldn't do it. But let's be real. They do it, but not on national TV.
Okay.
Like you sit around with your other girlfriends and say, "Did y'all hear Kimmy and Maurice's boy Monster was caught in that vaping?" You know, all the women get together, girl, as if their children ain't doing the same or not worse.
But Plez, that's not even good kitchen table talk. Vaping? That's what got you out vaping. I'm like, when the boy selling crack?
They're a polite society, so you know all of that is shocking to them. Vaping.
Oh,
our boys would never. Girl, good day.
Come to the public schools near me, honey. That's light work. Vaping. I'd be like, well, that's probably better than. I was like, what is happening? And I'm very tired of Tisha and her, oh God, and the needs and the listen, I can't, if I have ADHD, anxiety, I have all these things that I am personally dealing with. If there's a list of things I have to do as a friend, I will put in my 2 weeks notice and say, here, I cannot provide the level of phone calls and sisterhood that you need. So I have a counselor, I have all these things because I'm not going to be able to make you feel warm and fuzzy every other day. Don't you have shit going on?
She's aware of where it comes from, but she's lazy. She won't do the work. I'm not going to call her lazy. Lots of people are aware of where their issues rise from. They won't do the work because the work is hard. The work is painful. But instead, they choose to use these things as their crutch, as their Achilles heel, as the way to excuse what they do to other people. I'm like, girl, it is not Kimmy's fault that Wanda didn't tell you she loved you. That's not her fault. You got to go heal that on your own and get that out of your system instead of expecting other grown women to stand in the place and be the mother that you thought you should have had or that you wanted. I need Iyanla. Somebody get her. Carlos, go over there and get her to come out of retirement because we still got people out here that need her help. That's just crazy. Is heck to me to say, well, my mom didn't love me and I didn't, or didn't say I loved her. And, so when people don't, girl, that is your issue. Your whole life, you have been spoiled and coddled. And yes, Tisha, whatever you want, Tisha, you got the convertible for your 16th birthday party. And then your mama poisoned you that every girl in school was going to be jealous of your convertible and it was going to cut the top. Why buy the girl the car if you're going to then scare her from driving it? Like, that's just craziness. And I know, again, all of that ain't nothing but trauma response.
Absolutely.
So you're teaching from your place of hurt, you're parenting from your place of hurt, but you are crippling your children. And that is why I'm scared for them other girls. Nothing about children. I love her children. I like Tisha. But I just feel for those baby because it's just a vicious cycle.
Yeah.
And thankfully, Kimmy is standing up and trying to break her out of it, but she can't hear it. She just, ugh.
And that pathology, you have to do the work to break that. You have to, because it's the day-to-day stuff that the kids pick up on. That wow, and they sometimes do the stuff with the kids in the next room. So she's moaning and groaning and complaining about her relationship with Kimmy, and her mother, and and her constantly. I'm like, well, where's the work being done on yourself? Because you got to save yourself first.
It ain't
anybody else. Oh, that's so true to that comment.
Iyanla needs to talk to Martell and his mother about the pathology of his family. Absolutely.
The level of therapy that Martell needs, because to get past that layer of narcissism alone, listen, he needs medication as well. I'm sorry, because I'm all about that. But to be completely, it's almost like he's in another world where everyone is out to get him and disrespect him and dishonor his name. And I take care of all my children. I don't want to discuss the fifth one. We're going to pretend our fifth child. What are you talking about? That's none of your business. What? But you with my child in the picture talking about your fifth child. What's going on, sir? Pick one. Which personality are we going to be today? Are we going to be loving father? What are we doing today? So I don't know how Mel does it. I do think she buys into the a little bit of the crazy. Mm-hmm. You only participate in foolishness that you enjoy. Mm-hmm. At some point, because she can literally do transport of kids through their mothers, through the courts. So there's a part of that she still is holding on to, because it is extremely unhealthy to every interaction you have with your children's father to turn into toxicity. There's never been a positive exchange, at least on camera, with the kids. And I don't know how and why. And now they're doing that therapy session seemed good until they seemed tired, and everything almost seemed like he undid the progress that was handled in the room, because but until he gets therapy on his own, forget it.
Yeah. It it was so painful last night for me to watch him, even when talking to her mom. It's like, fool, that's her mama. You think you finna recruit her mama on your side? Like, really? Furthermore, mama didn't even want to talk about that. She was like, Martell, I'm talking about what you put on social media about me. But he just felt compelled to plead his case and say, it wasn't just me. Mel wasn't satisfying me. I wish you would tell my mama about how I'm allegedly not, satisfying you in the bedroom. Like, come on now. So just basic common sense and boundary issues.
Absolutely.
Just, it's too much, He was sitting there with his mama, riling his mama up. I'm like, leave your mama out of this. Because again, parents are going to protect their child. But the way he was selling it to his mom, like, sir, are you forgetting that you just got on Instagram? I can't tell if this was before or after he did the stunt with the kids in the car. I don't think we've gotten to that yet, that point. I hope they filmed. No, they had to film that part. But yeah, it had to be soon because they showed the baby and dropping the other baby off at daycare. Mm-hmm. So it was shortly after that. And then they also talked about the Steve Harvey thing. So it was shortly after that where he did the video in the van. Kids do uncle blah, blah, blah hit you. Like, really?
What? Like,
why would you do that? Like, just a complete child. And so that's why, and he gets so defensive. I'm a good father. And that's where people have to understand it's two different things. Like, yes, you are good in terms of like actively wanting to be there. Mm-hmm. But you undermine yourself because it's almost like you're trying to turn the children against their mother. You're pitting them, you're putting them in the middle when they don't have to be, which is what Melody's mother was saying. They still should know that they are loved, that they come from a strong family. And at the end of the day, all of our interactions need to be about them. Because utterly when she showed up and opened the door from when Melody had closed the door in his face and they got into their little back and forth, he's like, come on, kids, your grandma just put her hand in my face. Why? Why say that? You 39, 40 years old. Why would you say that?
I don't. I mean, every time I think, like, I had a moment of hope in that therapy session for him. And then when she touched his arm and he pulled away, it's like, and just, don't touch me, man. I was like, okay, I can't even, there is no hope until he finds a therapist that's willing to drag him, that's willing to, and not know, oh, I understand how you, no, that's willing to drag him in a way that he has to pull that down. I mean, but narcissism, when you're that grown, and then when you're good looking, you got money, you have women who are willing and able, it creates another layer of difficulty to force someone to deal with who they really are. Because all he wants is, he is an attention-loving man-child. And as long as someone is there to appease that nature, he's never going back. Because there's a mix of broken women that are there, that will be there.
And that's what I was saying earlier when I was talking about it. It's a whole generation of women out there that were raised by other women that, like I said, the Betty Wright motto, no pain, no gain. A man gonna be a man, a piece of man is better than no man, all those good things. He would love for Melody and Ariane to have a Barbara and Shirley. In which they did. They've had several of those phone calls. So he was loving that type of stuff. He felt that was normal. That's what women, men do. And it just, from all of the friends, even from him, he couldn't handle a therapist to get him together, and he wouldn't go to one.
Exactly.
As he said, he didn't like, what was the man's name? Whatever, the older black man that he went to, because he felt he wasn't relatable enough because he had never cheated on his wife.
Oh, God.
He ain't never been through nothing, so he can't say, all he kept saying is, we've been together 40, 50 years, but he ain't never. So fundamentally, he believes that men cheat. This is what we do, and women As long as like I said, I came from that type of environment, which is why me and my friends talk all the time about, you should move back home. And I'm like, no. All the guys there, especially one, it ain't that many guys there, but two, the ones that are there that are my age that are actually desirable, they know they're desirable. They know they are big fishes in a small pond. They are college educated. They have careers. They have their own house. They have their own cars. They're not bums, but they came from a place where their uncles cheated. Their dad is cheated. Their granddad is cheated. It is literally in their blood. And I'm not going to be in some little small town. Not to say that people don't do it in the city, because they do. But at least in the city, I might not have to run into my sister wife at the grocery store. Like, we only got one Walmart, honey, and we both ain't finna be at there at the same time, because everybody in town knows your business. It's not like it's a secret. Everybody knows that y'all both sharing this person. And it is offensive. I don't even like their whole narrative of quiet cheating that Miss Nell and other people were trying to sell, but it is a real thing.
Absolutely.
Like Marceau.
Exactly.
Like Marceau, when he goes across town for his business deals or out of town for his business deals, you leave that where it is, and then you come on back to your house with your kids, but you don't never have nobody comfortable enough to, what did Melody say Ariane was doing? Kept calling Martell's phone, and then when Melody answered, put Martell on the phone. You too comfortable. Like, you ain't even got your women in check to say that this is my wife. You're going to respect her. No, ma'am, no, Pam. I will be, and again, it's because society tells women that you have to have a man. Something is wrong with you if you're single. They'll throw that at you real quick. People throw that at me. I was like, oh, you single. Girl, happily. I'm not worried about if somebody coming home tonight. I'm not over here crying. And I don't mean that to say all men definitely aren't like that. If you are in a happy relationship, a happy marriage with a good man, I applaud you. What I'm saying is, I'm not going to settle for any and everything just to say I have a man. No, that will irritate the crap out of me. We won't be together no time, because I'm not going to put up with that.
But women, I'm happily married, and happily married women never say dumb shit like that. You know why? Because the shit is work. We are tired. And we understand that women that are happily single and happily married they live in the same orbit. There are miserable women, single and married. They also are in the same orbit. They are quick. You need a man. How old are you? When are you having a baby? If you don't get out of my uterus, if you don't leave what I got on alone, I have one, and I'm done. And I'm constantly. I'll be 40 next year. People are still, what you waiting on? Well, my uterus called and said she's done. So if I could patch you in. Start at 529 for the second one. So leave Black women alone. Leave us alone.
Girl.
All that. But the patriarchy got people so jacked up that people are wishing to be Rashida and Kurt. And I rebuke that in the name.
Please rebuke it. I stand in agreement with you. Where one or two are gathered. Come on now. No.
I don't know what God is trying to convince the people, but I was like, when have they become the beacon of anything except dysfunction? Because my introduction to him was in a hot tub with other women. So I'm trying to figure out, at what point should anyone aspire to be? It's to the point where I don't know, when they're in a scene, I don't know whose kids are whose.
Have you seen that clip that somebody, I haven't watched real Love and Hip Hop in so long, but somebody took a clip and made it into one of these TikToks where Kirk and Rashida were riding in the car, and Rashida was playing her put it on and make her want to marry me.
Yes, ma'am.
And looking at his response, and girl, he was sitting there so unimpressed and rolling his eyes and unbothered, like, okay, girl, yeah, that's why I married you. Ma'am, you should have got Mona Young them to cut that out. That is not a good look.
No, because now this is in perpetual in the history books in the archives, and we can pull this shenanigans. And I will always go back to I read that Shawty Loud. Like every time I see her, because I don't know, but this thing where, you know, like you said, the silent cheating, the misogyny on the daily misogyny, that you're supposed to be quiet. Shut up. You should be honored that I'm back with you. It's like, what?
Girl, that's one thing that I missed when I was giving my rundown. When Martell told Destiny, I'm like, girl, you better than me. I know you've been friends with that man for a long time, but I probably would have threw something at his bald headed self that day talking about, see, that's why you're getting a divorce now. You got too much mouth. Don't no man want no woman with no mouth like that. I'm like, all she did was tell you the truth. No one is going to sit around and put up with your stuff for years. But again, they're used to that because they watch their mamas do it. They watch their grandmamas do it. And they think that's just what women should do. If I provide, if I take care of home, what I do in my spare time is my business. No, ma'am.
No.
No, ma'am.
No.
No, sir. No, ma'am. No, Pam. No, nobody. Like, oh, Lord. And that is where one place where I'm proud of Melody.
Yeah.
I honestly feel like Melody orchestrated all of this. She was like, oh, y'all want us on the show? All right, well, we're going to show our whole life. We're going to show this. Now I got proof when I need to go to court that you are unfaithful, have been unfaithful for years. And I put you on Front Street. And like she said, he looks bad. The businesses are back on her. The spotlight is on her. And she still tries to show him grace, tries to be nice to him, tries to work with him. And he spits in her face every time. I know they have kids. I know you got to co-parent. You have to do what's best for your kids. But baby, I don't know if I will be able to do it this soon.
Yeah, she's a mastermind. And it's brilliant. It's brilliant. I mean, after you've been publicly humiliated, now I shall use you to fulfill my 401k. Now I'm going to use you because she knows how he's going to show up to every situation. Failure, destitution, narcissism. He always shows up like, so why not? He records.
Mm-hmm.
Because that 47 acres is not going to happen without her. When the client asks, because you ask the ex-wife, because that raggedy Negro ain't got no builder's license. And I don't want to do sub contracts because I write those. Nobody wants to sub a sub. So why not just do the straight deal with Melody? Done.
Exactly.
And you shouldn't be
And
mad.
if he played his cards right, he could be the head whatever contractor or one of the subs, as you say. But he can't see the forest for the trees. He's so into himself. Like you said, the narcissism, the ego. He can't see the bigger picture at all. Like somebody, I think Funky Dineva or somebody I was watching said, at the end of the day, that's food in your kid's mouth. However it comes. So again, this goes back to you being such a good father, but because you want to spite their mother, you would rather that money go somewhere else. Or you would rather Chris hook it up. Like you said, no, Chris, I would look out for me just like I've looked out for you. How is he going to look out for you? They have to have somebody with a builder's license. You don't have that. I know babies. You wanted to go to Marceau. Like you said, you wanted to go to Marceau. So now you're going to team up with your former quote unquote enemy to spite your wife, your ex-wife. Like,
well, look, I'm glad to see you. I will be tuning in. Locked up your backstage. I know some people might want to come in and talk.
Girl, no, we about to go and get about this thing. Sorry, y'all. Girl, it's 3 hours. I did not expect this to go this long. That's partially my fault. I'm going to have to figure out how to get these shows in and other stuff I want to talk about in a good time frame. So it's going to be some real quick. But this was my first time doing it like this. I'm going to do some time stamps so that people don't, I know people like, oh my God, 3 hours. But yeah, girl,
Well,
but it was good. I love Sunday after church, after whatever type talk. This is kind of stuff I love to do even in my regular life. So it was good.
All right. Well, I love it. Peace and blessings. And I'll be here watching.
Okay. Thank you so much for supporting. See you later.
Bye, sis.
Bye. All right, y'all. Lord, 3 hours. I did not expect it to go this long, but thank you for supporting me. Thank you and welcome. If you're new here to Scared of Beautiful, this was my first episode of the Grab Bag. And like I said, this will be where I handle any type of trending topics, hot topics that I want to cover, and some key shows that I'm watching where you all have asked me for my opinion. I'll leave some timestamps once everything processes and loads up. So it may not be immediate. It may be tomorrow sometime because you never know with YouTube. Sometimes these things upload rather quickly. Sometimes it takes a while for the video to process. So I'll leave that for anybody watching the playback. And I love you all. Thank you for being here with me, my beauties and my beaux. Thank you to my moderators who were able to come through and hold it down. I promise you all we're going to shorten this so that you all can enjoy your Sundays. Later, Sing Along Sunday is going to be on Instagram. So if you all want to come check me out, if you don't follow me on Instagram, I do a Sing Along Sunday where I just sing a song. And if you want to sing along with me and upload you a video, you can. Or you can just sing in your house and dance around. It's just a way to start your week, have some fun and fellowship, and to make you all smile. So I'll be doing that later. And I think that's going to be it. Thank you all again for supporting me, my beauties and my beaux. If you're new here, people wanted a name for people who supported Scared of Beautiful. And that's the name we came up with, my beauties and my beaux here on Scared of Beautiful. So thank you all so much again. And I will see you all next week. Again, if you're new, I gave kind of my schedule, which will basically be Fridays through Sunday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. If I have something pre-planned, it'll be a pre-recorded video. And when I can, I will go live because I do like the engagement with you all. I do like you all being able to come up and give your own opinions on whatever topics that we're covering. So I want to continue to do that. All right. All right. Y'all have a great week. Don't let life get over on you. Knock it out of the park. Do something every day that makes you happy and do some self-care for yourself. And I will see you all next time. All right. Talk to y'all later. Bye.